Armstrong exited as coach late last season after the... Brought to you by Budweiser. Beechwood Age for that clean, crisp taste. This Bud's for you. By Manufacturers Hanover, the financial source worldwide. By Metropolitan Life and affiliated companies. Get Met, it pays. By today's TWA, find out how good we really are. By Mobil One Synthetic Motor Oil. Mobil One protects your engine better than any conventional motor oil. And by your local New York, New Jersey, and Connecticut Ford dealers. Here at Madison Square Garden, the Winnipeg Jets and the New York Rangers are on the ice for their first meeting of the season. Hello, everyone. Welcome to New York Rangers hockey. I'm Sam Rosen along with John Davidson. John, the Rangers come back after a very bad loss in St. Louis. Had several days to regroup. And without Walt Podubny, they make the change to Raimo Helminen in the line with Mark Osborne, Thomas Sandstrom. How do you think he'll fit in?
Well, Helminen's an offensive player. They have to keep those two wingers scoring and getting points for the team because they've been the main purpose for the hockey club. Helminen is a real finesse player. He's good with his hands. He can set up the opposition. Defensively, he was -3 in his only game when I was in St. Louis, but the whole team was bad that night. He's got good hands. He uses wingers well, but the wingers are going to have to find some open ice so he can pass the puck to them, Sam.
A couple of other changes. Paul Fenton will be in the lineup. Will play on the line with Mike Ridley at center and Kelly Miller on the right wing. Kelly Kissio and Pierre LaRouche are paired with Jan Eriksson, so that'll be interesting to see those line changes. Winnipeg Jets are led by the perennial all-star Dale Hawerchuk. He's right up there leading the team in scoring again.
He always plays well. Sam, he's a durable hockey player. He's 6th year in the league this year, and he's only missed one regular season game over that time period. His line is very good. Mullen, McLean, and Hawerchuk has been the key for that hockey club. For the Rangers to win, they're going to have to play well defensively against that line. That line keys their power play, too.
We'll also get a look at the rookie goaltender, Eldon Pokey Reddick, and Bruce Beck has more on him. Let's go to ice side. Bruce?
Well, there's a good look at number 33, Eldon Pokey Reddick. He started the last 5 straight games, and 8 of the team's 10. His record 4-4. He's allowed more than 3 goals only twice. Last year, he played in the International League. This year, he's playing in the NHL and doing an outstanding job for new coach Dan Maloney. Speaking of the Dan Maloney club, they have really improved on the specialty teams. 10th on the power play department, 4th in penalty killing. They come into tonight's game in 2nd place in the Smythe division. They will be fighting for a playoff spot all season long. The Rangers look to ice the Jets, and the opening face-off is just moments ahead.
I'm Jimmy Connors, and it's about time you met my partner, my financial side.
All successful people and companies have a financial side.
Let's go, partner.
But to really be a winning team, you might need some help.
We need some help.
You need Payne Weber behind you for financial expertise, sound advice. We believe the quality of life just might depend on the quality of your financial services.
Thank you, Payne Weber. You're awfully stiff. You've got to loosen up a little bit.
You know when things really heat up? When we're inside the opponent's 30-yard line. That's when things get exciting, get hot. That's when you really start sweating. But you won't find me showering with the deodorant soap. I made a clean break with Ivory. Look, Ivory's good, honest soap. So I don't feel all covered up with deodorants or heavy perfumes. I just feel and smell clean. That's an honest clean.
Make a clean break with Ivory. You just can't beat Ivory's honest clean.
Even when you're not playing so hot.
This young man is about to repair his own car. As you watch, he's actually fixing one of the biggest problems facing today's engines, clogged fuel injectors. He's fixing it with Mobil Super Unleaded Gasoline. Its advanced detergent formula can unclog fuel injectors and give your car a new injection of power. Drive your engine clean with Mobil Super Unleaded. High octane with a plus.
Winnipeg Jets and the New York Rangers moments away from the opening face-off. We'll see the scratches for tonight. Steve Penny, a knee injury. Dave Ellett got clocked in a fight with Alan Kerr last night on the island. Turnbull, a shoulder. Nil, a knee injury. And Steen out with bruised ribs. Greshner about 10 days away. Crawford's ready to go. And Podubny should be back on Wednesday. We're set for the singing of the Canadian and American national anthems. Cavalier, and that's Pokey Reddick.
Van Beesbrook, starting for the 6th time in 7 games.
Oh, technical problem with your mic, John, so just sit, we'll get it fixed, and I'll tell you that John Van Beesbrook is 2-3-2, making his 6th start in the last 7 games. Don Koharski is the referee tonight, and his linesmen Pat DeBuzo and Dan McCourt. Winnipeg Jets, 2nd place in the Smythe Division, 4-5-1. Rangers start Helmeten at center, Osborne on the left wing, Sandstrom on the right wing, Patrick and Huber on defense, and here we go, and into the Winnipeg Jet zone the puck goes, and Jim Kite, number 6, fanned on the pass. Sandstrom's all over him. Loose puck played around by Mario Marois, deflects, and the Jets come out. Jets opening up with their top line of Howard Chuck, centering for Brian Mullen and Paul McLean. The wraparound try came out to Osborne. He clears the zone. Kite is there. And now one-time New York Ranger, one-time Quebec Nordique Mario Marois on the ice. Sandstrom lost it to Howard Chuck. Nice steal. Howard Chuck with the puck. Tried to put it in front of his block. And Osborne has it. Huber taps to Helmeten. Helmeten goes right side to Sandstrom, who cuts in. He's tripped up. Penalty called. Mario Marois is going to go. What a move by Sandstrom.
Sam, that last little move set up the penalty call to the Winnipeg Jets. Helmeten with a good pass to set up Sandstrom. There you see him cut in. And Marois had to stick his leg out, otherwise he was beat. Sandstrom wanted to get a better shooting angle, so he went to the middle of the ice. And look at Reddick. Look how far out he is on top of the circle. So the Rangers will have their power play going now. LaRouche and Pedusky lead the team with 3 goals each. Of course, Pedusky not being dressed.
Man in the suit there is Rick Bonas, the assistant coach to Dan Maloney. Rangers' quick power play attempt. They are 6th in the league in power plays.
Sam, they're 2 for their last 22 chances on the power play, which is not good, but they have at least 1 power play goal in 9 of their 10 games this season, and that's not bad.
Rangers send out Ridley, Miller, and LaRouche for the power play. Patrick and Huber on the points. The Winnipeg Jets penalty killing has been excellent thus far this season.
It has really improved. That's probably been the biggest surprise for the hockey club, other than Pokey Reddick being the starting goaltender, Sam.
Last night they did allow 2 power play goals to the Islanders. LaRouche bumped by Carlisle. Andrew McBain, number 20, is on for Winnipeg, along with Ron Wilson, number 24. Carlisle is driving the puck, and Tim Waters. Rangers keep it in. Wilson plays to the boards and able to tap it out of the zone.
Now, Winnipeg killing penalties are a team that really pursue the puck all over the place. Neutral zone, in their own zone, wherever it is, Sam. If the Rangers don't have total control, they'll go right after the man.
Minutes 10 to go in the power play. Sandstrom gets in. Nice beat to LaRouche. Quick shot kicked out by Reddick. Along the boards, McBain able to get it out to Gilles Hamel, younger brother of John Hamel, who once played for the Montreal Canadiens.
St. Louis.
Hamel came over from Buffalo.
Scott Arneal, Buffalo. 1 shorthanded goal this year. Boschman has it for Winnipeg.
Into the corner, Jim Kite and Kelly Kissio. Kissio for the Rangers trying to poke it free. Helminen does. Helminen drops it back to Kissio. Kissio looking. Brad Berry checks him. Berry, number 29, all over him. Kissio still with the puck. 28 seconds to go on the Rangers power play. Helminen back pass to Samuelson. He shoots. It's deflected wide. Comes near side to Sandstrom, who's playing the left point. Interesting alignment for the Rangers on this power play. Sandstrom comes off the board. Centers for Helminen, who shot it wide. Nice setup in the slot. Helminen high in the slot, missing. Tight. Lost control. And able to lift it out.
Actually, Sam, I think it's Kissio that was playing the point, and Kissio was in deep, so Sandstrom went back there. I know they wanted to use Kissio a little, well, quite a bit. They want to find out how good he is on the point on the power play. That's been a problem.
Sorry, John. Power play is over. Teams are back in full strength. Laidlaw has the puck along the boards. He's tied up. And the Jets try to send it ahead and do into the Rangers zone. Brian Mullen with a quick shot that's blocked by Melnick. Loose stick down there, and Brook picks up the loose puck. Comes out with Deblois and Maloney. Off the corner boards. Brook stops it. Checked by Carlisle. Deblois' centering pass is deflected into the corner. Fredrik Olofsson, rookie defenseman from Sweden, number 4. After it, Carlisle has the puck. Melnick fires to Maloney. Now to Deblois. Carlisle bumps him. Brook tries to go around, and he was tied up. Randy Carlisle has the puck. One-time Pittsburgh Penguin. Originally started with the Toronto Maple Leafs. Randy Carlisle. Howardchuk sends into the Rangers zone. Patrick has the puck. Up the boards for Maloney. 4 minutes gone by in the first period. There's no score as Pierre LaRouche tries to drive from center ice and is bumped from behind. Marois has the puck. Marois tied up from behind by Kissio. Ranger line of Kissio, Erickson, and LaRouche. With LaRouche playing the right side. Kite back for the puck, number 6.
Kite's one of the most improved players, Sam. They go with 6 defensemen, Winnipeg do, but they only use 3 lines. The 4th line last night on the island had very few shifts.
Martin, number 21, in the corner. Is the rookie Hanu Yarvenpää, number 13. That's Martin behind the net. Comes out in front. Yarvenpää looking for it. Yarvenpää has the puck. Drops it back in the corner for Martin, who lost his helmet in the battle behind the net. Battling along the boards. Rangers fired out of the zone. Kite is there. Back into the Rangers zone. Samuelson sends it right back out to Jan Eriksson. Rangers change.
Boy, oh boy, that should be a penalty.
Wow,
Martin hit Eriksson along the boards and then followed through with the check and put him inside the bench because the gate was open.
Boschman and Miller are battling. Ridley is there. Miller being held by Boschman. He's got a good hold on him. And the puck's out of the zone. It's a 2-on-2 down the ice. Ray Neufeld across the line, swept away by Laidlaw. Laidlaw takes Neufeld to the boards, finishes the check. Up the boards, Tim Waters, number 7, shoots. Kicked away by Van Beesbroek. Laidlaw plays the puck. Laidlaw pumped by Boschman. Smale has the puck. Doug Smale centers. It's all the way out of the zone.
Sam, that was Winnipeg's first shot on goal. It was 5.5 minutes into the game, but remember the New York Rangers had a power play chance.
Waters goes up the middle where Patrick breaks it up for the Rangers. James Patrick, who's been struggling early in the season. Doug Smale, number 9. The pass is deflected, and Neufeld has it. Laurie Boschman gets bumped by Helminen, and Van Beesbroek stops the puck for Patrick. Up the board for Osborne. He turns, looks up ice, fires cross to Sandstrom. Sandstrom one-on-one with Brad Berry. Sandstrom shoots, blocked, deflected by Berry into the crowd. It stops play with 13:54 to go in the first period. There is no score.
Introducing Soundview Chevrolet, your I-95 Chevy dealer in New Rochelle.
Introducing? Soundview's been selling Chevys for years.
I didn't know that.
That's because Soundview's the area's best-kept secret with over 400 cars and trucks in stock. They're one of the largest retail Chevy dealers around.
Where are they?
Soundview Chevy's right in the heart of New Rochelle, just a block from the New England Thruway.
You mean I-95?
That's right, exit 16. They're your I-95 Chevy dealer.
Soundview Chevy in New Rochelle, exit 16 off I-95. What's the address?
Main Street, of course. 291 Main Street in New Rochelle. Psst, don't forget, exit 16 off I-95.
Here's where Jan Eriksson gets bumped along the boards, but watch Martin keep following through, and into the bench he goes. Here, sit down, take a seat. That's right. Martin is a tough guy who got bumped in the Rangers zone. He's a person, Sam, that's very physical, and the Jets are not an overly physical hockey club.
He just recently got called up from the American Hockey League, wants to stay here a little bit.
He's the type of player the coaches say will go through the boards just to be able to play.
Rangers keep the puck in along the boards. Osborne, nice feed. That shot by Helminen is blocked. McBain gets out. Lost it to Helminen. He didn't get out. Carlisle back for it. Rangers do some good forechecking. Helminen has the puck. Back to Sandstrom. Stopped by Reddick. He falls on the puck. 13:29 to go in the first period. Nice play by Eldon Pokey Reddick. And there's Dan Maloney in his first year with the Winnipeg Jets after coaching at Toronto.
You know, in Toronto last year, Sam, they had their best year in almost a decade. And he did not come to terms with a contract with Harold Ballard. He said, no, I'm going to retire and leave from Toronto. John Ferguson grabbed him immediately and has been very, very happy with him. There again, you see the puck being dumped off by Helminen. And Sandstrom almost behind the goal line taking that shot. Pokey Reddick held his position. But Helminen, again, we have to mention how he drops the puck off to different people who are open. Pokey Reddick's a stand-up goaltender, Sam. He's got very good hands. He's not tall, so a lot of scouting reports say shoot the puck high on him. No wonder he's got good hands. People shooting high on him all the time.
5'8", 170 from Halifax, Nova Scotia. Eldon Pokey Reddick. And interesting, the times that we went into Winnipeg last year, John Ferguson spoke very highly about him. But watch out for this kid. He's going to be playing in the National Hockey League.
Well, Bill Ranford, who's the good young goaltender with the Boston Bruins, was Pokey Reddick's backup in junior.
That shot by Brook got blocked in front. Good play by Marois. Brook trying to center. Reddick stops inside of the net. It's deflected by Maloney. Now it's Deblois. He's checked there by Brian Mullen. In comes Howardchuk, number 10. Mullen and Deblois still tied up. Now it's Kite in the corner. Deblois lost his stick, had it ripped out of his hands, and the puck knocked out of the zone. Race for the puck is on. Penalty call. Samuelson pulled down his man in center ice. Pulled down Brian Mullen, I believe. No, it was Howardchuk got pulled down. And a power play coming up for the Winnipeg Jets as Samuelson goes for interference.
Take a look. Basic banker, right? Come the weekend, I'm out of these into this and that. My Ford Ranger, sanity on wheels. I got it, and the power steering, two-tone paint, and AM/FM stereo came free. I saved over $1,300 before my dealer crunched the numbers. Yep. One day I'll pack up everything that matters and ride away.
Samuelson in the penalty box. Interference is the call at 7:09 as Dale Howardchuk did a good job drawing that penalty, Sam. Winnipeg 2 for 3 last night in Long Island on their power play. We were very impressed with their puck movement, quick pass work, and also watch McLean, number 15. He likes to pick the opposition to open the ice up for his teammates. But it's almost like a basketball pick where he'll skate into somebody, interfere with them, and the players will make the moves in behind him.
And, of course, Howardchuk is the key man passing so well and setting up. McLean is a good scorer. Nice shot by Kelly Miller, stopped by Reddick.
Mullen leads the team with 4 power play goals.
Nice bumping by Ridley against Paul McLean. Carlisle and Marois on the points for Winnipeg, with Howardchuk, McLean, and Mullen up front. Paul McLean, who had an off year last year, filled with injuries, and trying to bounce back this year.
Paul McLean, Sam, went to Los Angeles, saw a doctor there, finally had his problem corrected, and he did it mostly with rest. He laid off physical workouts all summer long, did not play in preseason, but he's played well ever since the season started.
He scored 27 goals last year, but that was down from 41, and scored 101 points 2 years ago. Nice steal, set up for Howardchuk. He just missed. It was Mullen stealing it. Carlisle shooting toward the net, blocked by Erickson. Erickson clears with 1 minute to go on the penalty to Shell Samuelson. Erickson comes in. Erickson controls the puck nicely. Drops it off for Osborne along the boards. Erickson heads for the net. The deflection is a save by Reddick. Oh, beautiful play between Erickson and Osborne.
Maloney and Erickson already have a shorthanded goal this season. The Rangers have just a few. Look at that!
Huber from center ice, a one-bouncer. It took a weird hop on Pokey Reddick. It's a shorthanded goal from center ice.
I don't think I've ever seen that before. That was not just a dribble or a flip shot. It's a big, hard shot, a slap shot. It hit something in the ice. Watch this. Boom. It skips right up over the shoulder on the crossbar. Unbelievable. Reddick went down to play with his body. Willie Huber shot that, and it knuckled a little bit. Now look at that. It gained momentum after it bounced on the ice. And the Rangers get a break in a shorthanded goal. They lead 1-0. And I imagine John Ferguson is about to jump out of whatever press box he's in.
He'll be up here a little later on. Short-handed goal for Willie Huber. Still 40 seconds to go in the Winnipeg power play, and the Rangers have a 1-0 lead. Islanders scored a short-handed goal against the Jets last night. Brent Sutter got it.
Brent Sutter played well in that goal. He was playing very well. He's having a fine season.
That shot is stopped. The shot taken by Yarpenbaugh, and it's driven out of the zone by Patrick.
The Jets have not had a chance to set up at all in this power play, and they haven't had a shot on goal. They've had only, one shot. They've had 2 for the game. They just haven't had a good clean shot on Van Beesbroek. One was just a flip in.
This after Lego, Hamel, and Yarpenbaugh on. Van Beesbroek to the sideboards. It's kept in by Brad Berry. Pass to Lego, and Laidlaw trying to clear. It's kept in at the point. On the boards, it's wound in. Lego going for the puck. Falls down. Melnick plays up the boards for Brook. Brook will get out. Power play is over. Teamsters full strength. Only across the line. Rangers lead 1-0 on the shorthanded goal by Willie Huber with 10:25 to go. That shot is stopped. Fenton getting a quick chance. First shift on the ice for Paul Fenton.
Washman stayed right with him, and you saw Reddick stay on his feet. The goaltender does not drop very often.
Kelly Miller trying to push it ahead. It's stopped by Doug Smale. Miller looks for it. Fenton looks for it. Kept in by the Jets momentarily. Laidlaw fires out. Miller stopped by Tim Waters. Doug Smale comes back. Fenton checking him from behind. Now it's Neufeld. Neufeld shoots wide. To the near boards. Samuelson is bumped. Double team. Off the boards comes Smale. He lost the puck. Out come the Rangers. Jackson pushing it ahead for Ridley. Fenton was pulled down in center. Ridley takes a shot, deflects off the skate of Brad Berry. Fenton puts it on goal. Riddick stops it. Tim Waters lifts ahead, and it's out of the zone. 9.5 minutes to go.
Seeing a much better effort by the Rangers in this game, Sam, than that they showed everybody in St. Louis. They're really trying to force the play. They've outshot the opposition 8-2 to this point.
Patrick sending it ahead. Across the line comes Kissio. Fires cross ice. Just hopped on the stick of LaRouche. Tied up by Waters. Here's Erickson. Tried to stick handle in. He's knocked behind the net by Brad Berry. I believe it was. Here's Patrick with a shot that's knocked aside. No, it was Neufeld who was taking out Jan Erickson on that play.
Nice play by Patrick to kick the puck ahead from his skates to the blade of his stick, and then a quick shot on Reddick.
Erickson in center. Rink wide, non-stop action now. Erickson comes in with a quick shot that's stopped by Reddick. Kite sends it ahead for Mullen. Jets come down 3-on-2. Into the middle, Howardchuk. Howardchuk across the line, offside. McLean went ahead of the play, offside on the 3-on-2. 8:41 to go, first period. Rangers 1, Jets nothing.
Michael Chevrolet gives you hometown service at downtown prices. Michael Chevrolet gives you expert sales advice from an experienced staff. And Michael Chevrolet in Greenwich gives you competitive pricing, along with low GMAC financing and a huge inventory, plus a service manager with 37 years of experience. Michael Chevrolet has a high customer satisfaction rating, and that's why you should see Michael Chevrolet first. Michael Chevrolet, take Turnpike Exit 3 in Greenwich.
Join the Knicks on their West Coast swing beginning tomorrow night when the Knicks take on the Golden State Warriors. The action gets underway at 10:30 right here on Madison Square Garden Network.
In this hockey game, we're seeing a lot of the team's best lines facing each other. It's Howard Chuck against Helmanen. Could be quite a battle before the night's over.
Jets lost an opportunity there on the 3-on-2. Looked like a good rush coming down.
Put themselves offside. LaRoche was the last forward trying to get back. There was a 3-on-2 for Winnipeg.
Howard Chuck. In front, McLean is stopped by Van Beesbrook. Oh, big save. That's something the coaches have been looking for from the goaltenders. Here's the lead for Osborne. He's onside. Osborne is hooked away by Pokey Reddick. Here's a shot by Helmanen wide. Kept in.
Big saves create chances at the other end of the ice, and a fine save by Van Beesbrook. McLean had the puck in tight. He uses an 8.5 lie stick. He can handle the puck when it's real tight to his feet, and he got a good shot on Van Beesbrook, who got across.
7:50 to go in the first period. Rangers lead 1-0 on the shorthanded goal by Willie Huber. This is going to be, no, icing is waved off. Good play by Sandstrom getting there. That pass off the skates of Olsson. The rookie defenseman from Sweden, number 4, Fredrik Olsson. So a lot of youngsters on there for Winnipeg. The rookie goaltender, Olsson, the rookie defenseman, and Järvenpää, the rookie from Finland. And here's John Van Beesbrook. What an important save for him.
See that puck right in tight on McLean's skates? He still got a good shot redirected at Van Beesbrook, who got across smartly to make the save. McLean will always be in around that goal when his teammates, especially Howard Chuck, has the puck. Howard Chuck is good at beating off nice passes.
Carlisle moves the puck ahead out of the zone. Samuelson is there, paired with Jackson on the defense.
So Winnipeg are doing a pretty good job picking up men open in their own zone. The Rangers keep trying to make that pass to find the open man, and the Winnipeg players are staying with them. They haven't had a lot of real clean shots on Pokey Reddick from in tight.
Brook is back to the puck. Maloney is bumped and gets away from Tom Martin long enough to drop it off in center. Carlisle puts it back in past Wilson. Don Jackson is there, but a penalty is called. High sticking was the call. Penalty took place around the blue line. 7:08 to go in this first period.
Like many before, you came here asking for just one thing. A chance.
You're gonna make it. Here goes you. Make America work and big fights for you.
Here's to you. Beechwood Age for that clean, crisp taste that says Budweiser.
This Bud's for you.
Don Maloney gets 2 minutes for high sticking. And the Winnipeg Jets on their second power play of the game time, and the penalty was 12:52. And on the last one, Rangers got the shorthanded goal on the high bouncer by Willie Huber.
And the Rangers have now killed off 18 of the last 20 times short. 90% ratio, that's pretty good.
Puck knocked away by Patrick off the stick of Brian Mullen. New York City man. Look at Paul McLean, number 15 for the Jets. There is Brian Mullen.
His whole family are here at the game. His dad, of course, used to work in the Garden. He's now retired. They're very happy with Mullen's play this year, especially in traffic, Sam. He's been trying to get the puck, the one-on-one battles along the boards. He'll be the first man in the corner to get the puck. Taking the body pretty well for a man that, hadn't throughout his career. They say he hadn't anyway. He's really matured and he's played well. He got sat down quite a bit last season and benched, and he, they say, matured over the summer and played well.
He's established himself in the National Hockey League. This is his 5th year. He's been a 20-goal scorer every year, had 32 goals the year before last.
The Westside Rangers he played for, Tommy Horvath and the boys.
And he's also come out of the shadow of younger brother of Joey Mullen. He's Brian Mullen, is established left winger in the National Hockey League. Minute 15 to go in the power play for the Winnipeg Jets. 6:20 to go, first period. Rangers lead 1-0. Carlisle drives it around the glass. Erickson bumped along the boards by Howardchuk. Huber with a check on Mullen as they kick at the puck. It's worked free out to the point to Carlisle. Carlisle ahead for Mullen on to Howardchuk. Out of the corner. It's loose. Knocked back. And here's Erickson.
Did you see McLean try and pick in front of the net?
Right.
They almost got the job done. Howardchuk had the puck. McLean picked, but Howardchuk couldn't get out front. He does that very well, does Paul McLean.
Jets come down. Andrew McBain feeding across the line to Howardchuk. Pushes it in front for Yarvenpah. It's knocked away by Laidlaw. He's hooked by McBain. Ooh, McBain got the stick up. Back to Carlisle. 30 seconds to go in the power play. McBain along the boards. Yarvenpah set up in the slot. Missed it. Now it's Howardchuk coming over. Back to the point. Olesen. Now it's Carlisle. Pushed in front. It's blocked by Laidlaw. Laidlaw should clear, but he taps it over to Erickson. Rangers come down. Debelois, the former Winnipeg Jet, drives it high off the glass. Anu Yarvenpah comes across the line, drops it off. Shot by Dorlego is wide. 5 seconds to go on the power play. Olesen at the point, holds, looks, pushes it down the boards. Back pass to Olesen. Teams are back at full strength. Rangers come out. Brook, one-on-one against Brad Berry. Brook comes in. It's off the skates of Berry. Brook again. Back pass. Shot by Samuelson. Deflected, a save. The rebound's loose. And it's still loose. And finally Reddick covers it. Reddick was down. The puck was loose in the crease. But Maloney just couldn't lift it up. 1-0 Rangers. 4:51 left, first period.
Introducing Soundview Chevrolet, your I-95 Chevy dealer in New Rochelle.
Introducing? Soundview's been selling Chevys for years.
I didn't know that.
That's because Soundview's the area's best kept secret. With over 400 cars and trucks in stock, they're one of the largest retail Chevy dealers around.
Where are they?
Soundview Chevy's right in the heart of New Rochelle, just a block from the New England Thruway.
You mean I-95?
That's right, exit 16. They're your I-95 Chevy dealer.
Soundview Chevy in New Rochelle, exit 16 on I-95. What's the address?
Main Street, of course. 291 Main Street in New Rochelle. Psst, don't forget, exit 16 off I-95.
4:51 to go in this first period. It's the premier equestrian sports showcase, the National Horse Show. See the pageantry of opening night ceremonies, including the parade of international teams Tuesday night, 7:30, right here on Madison Square Garden Network. We bring the garden home. The Horse Show returning to the Garden. Rangers will go on the road for a little bit. Shot by Boschman is blocked by Jackson. It's loose in front. Boschman is in, and he shot it wide. Van Beesbrook forced him, and Boschman carried it wide. Loose in front, and Erickson has it.
Van Beesbrook did not fold there. He stayed on his feet, stayed right with Boschman, and Boschman kept going wider and wider and wider, and pretty soon it was too late.
4:20 to go. Here's Kelly Kissio coming down against Tim Waters. Kissio still with it. Berry knocks it away. Kissio sends it behind the net for LaRouche. LaRouche comes out in front off a skate. Boy, he tried to play that right off the skate of Ray Neufeld and almost carried it in.
Reddick's doing a good job, Sam, picking up the deflections. That's 2 in a row he's had, even though the last one was not as significant, but he's staying with those deflections very well. The Islanders scored 2 deflection goals last night. Look at Van Beesbrook. Stay on his feet. Stay with him. Stay with him. Stay with him. With Samuelson there, number 26, Boschman had to go to his right, or to his left, the goaltender's right. That's the only place he could have gone. Samuelson did a good job. The other end of the ice, watch LaRouche come in front. Now Reddick starts to move a little bit. Yet there's the deflection. He comes back with, drags his left leg and makes the save.
And LaRouche is trying to do that. He's trying to bank it off a leg or a skate or something.
Very imaginative. Smokey Reddick's got a younger brother, Smokey Reddick, who's the goaltender, honest to God, plays for the Weyburn Red Wings, Tier 2 hockey in southern Saskatchewan.
And I bet there's a third one called Hokey Reddick.
No, I'm not going to get into that one.
Marois knocked away by Osborne with a good check. Ron Wilson taps it over to Marois. Too long for Tom Martin. Huber back for the puck. 3:50 to go in the first period. Rangers lead 1-0. Willie Huber's goal from the Rangers side of the red line. A one bouncer over the head of Hokey Reddick. Good hit by Huber. Sandstrom has the puck. Sandstrom's lead for Helminen was broken up by Wilson coming back. Ron Wilson with a good play. Out in center, Marois knocked away by Osborne. Wilson puts it into the Rangers zone. Van Beesbrook stops it. Looks very sharp. thus far in the game. Rangers are out shooting the Jets 11-4, but the couple of chances that the Jets have been good ones, and Van Beesbrook has made the saves. In the corner, that's Brad Berry all over Sandstrom. Good work by Sandstrom. Helminen has the puck, checked by Wilson. Now it's Berry sending it around to the near side. Laidlaw will get to the puck. Laidlaw drops it, try to drop it back. It's loose. Here comes Paul Fenton for it. Knocks it ahead. Reddick stops inside of the net. Tim Waters. And around for Martin, who deflects it out. Melnick stops it. Melnick tied up, but the Rangers make a change. Kelly Miller carried it into the Winnipeg zone. Tim Waters clearing it down. Jackson back. It's away from Gilles Hamel. Lead is for Paul Fenton, who taps it ahead, and Carlisle there to break it up. Jackson knocks it down, looks around, and it's back in the Winnipeg zone with 2:25 to go. Carlisle is bumped by Miller. Centering pass for Ridley. Backhander is stopped. Ridley again, stopped by Reddick. 2 saves by Reddick on Mike Ridley. But Ridley got off a quick backhander.
Rangers forcing the play somewhat, but Reddick is very much a control goaltender, and he did make 2 good saves. He got across the net, stood up well, Sam. He's in total control, is the goaltender, Reddick.
Puck deflected off a player on the Winnipeg Jets bench. Beginning Tuesday, November 11th, you can see Sports Night with Dave Sims simulcast live after every weeknight home Knicks game. Dave's unique and personable style has been a resounding hit, both here on Madison Square Garden Network and on WNBC Radio. That's Sports Night following weeknight New York Knicks telecast right here on Madison Square Garden Network.
Winnipeg have not won on the road this year. They're 0-3-1. They only had 8 wins all last year. Only 2 teams at sure. That's not many.
One of the reasons they fell off so badly from 43 wins 2 years ago to 26 wins last season. Marois up the boards. Jackson trying to stop it, but it's out in center, and Brook is back for it. Now it's Don Jackson. Jackson back in the lineup after being scratched. 2-game penalty call. Deblois was tripped up. Hooking is the call. Rangers going to get another power play opportunity. Their second of the game. With 2 minutes to go in the first period, Rangers lead 1-0 as Brian Mullen goes off.
We're Manufacturers Hanover, changing and growing to meet your needs. In Los Angeles, our global network opens doors worldwide for a departing silk importer. In Cleveland, our CIT sales financing company provides funding for a dealer's inventory. In New York, our bank's home equity loan helps a family build a new playroom. We're Manufacturers Hanover, and now you know why we're called the financial source worldwide.
Brian Mullen, 2 minutes for Hooking at exactly 18 minutes. Second power play chance for the Rangers. They're 0 for 1.
Sam, if you look at the power plays and penalty killing times, the Rangers have had to kill penalties twice more than they've had power plays for. The leaders in the league, Edmonton, are -16. In other words, they've had to kill 16 more penalty killing times than power play chances. LA is +16. And last year overall, last season, Edmonton were -114 times. And they better have good penalty killers if that's going to be their style of play.
Well, the thing is that nobody wanted to give them power plays. They knew it'd wind up in their net. Rangers have Helminen, Sandstrom, Osborne, Kissio, and Samuelson. Kissio playing the left point. This is the second time in this game. And in his first game this season in Montreal, Kissio wound up 1 shift on the power play on the point. Here's Osborne. Osborne holds, looks around. Now it's Kissio. Looking, beats Osborne. Osborne to Kissio. And the shot, deflected, score! Raimo Helminen! It's a power play goal! And the Rangers lead 2-0.
Mullen was in the penalty box. The Rangers took advantage of it. Kissio looked and looked and looked and actually damaged the double deflection. McBain is up high on Kissio. It hits his stick right there. And then you see the other little soft deflection by Helminen. He just turned the blade of his stick. A soft little deflection up high. Let's watch the goaltender, Reddick. He's thinking shot here. In comes Helminen by himself. He stayed far enough out from the goaltender that he can deflect the puck up high. If he's in any tighter, that puck would have been deflected into the goaltender. Good heads-up play by Kissio and Helminen.
I think the key word you used there, John, was soft. Nice soft hands by Helminen. Rangers now with a shorthanded goal and a power play goal. Kelly Miller took himself offside. 1:18 to go here in the first period. Kelly Miller will be Bruce Beck's guest following the first period.
Kelly Miller playing both sides, left side, right side. 12 of his 14 career goals have been scored at Madison Square Garden. He's a well-conditioned athlete, is Kelly Miller, and continues to work hard every day, whether it be on ice or off the ice.
Also, between periods 1 and 2, we'll be talking with one of our favorite hockey people, John Ferguson, the general manager of the Winnipeg Jets. Helminen gets the goal, his first, from Kissio and Osborne at 18:32, and Don Koharski calls a penalty.
Over the glass.
Willie Huber is the man. There it is again, that delay.
Yeah, Huber wanted to dump the puck out. He's obviously unhappy with it. But it's a call that the referees have talked about it. All the teams have been warned about. If you deflect the puck off the glass, then it won't be a penalty. If you just loft it out up high over the glass, it's an automatic penalty. And there you see Willie Huber trying to dump it. He ends up going over the glass, and he's in the penalty box. The goaltenders have the same problem. Van Biesbroek took the penalty. There he's jawing with the official Koharski. He's not happy with the call. The Rangers' penalty killing has been excellent. Have to go to work.
I would say in that situation, they're trying to play the glass in that one. I don't know, but I think it's an automatic. The officials are saying you cannot.
They want to speed the game up. It's that simple. They're trying to find ways to make the game shorter. And that's one way they feel they'll make it shorter. They make people keep the puck inside the hockey rink.
Jets' third power play. Marois has it deflected by Maloney. Brook and Maloney on with Melnick and Laidlaw. Jets are 0 for 2 thus far in the power play. 50 seconds to go in the first period. Rangers leading 2-0.
So far in this game, the Rangers' penalty killing has had good speed, good jump in their legs. They're getting to loose pucks again. That door comes open. That could be dangerous.
Someone lock the door, please. 35 seconds to go. Powerchuk has it knocked away by Laidlaw with a good play, and Melnick has it. Melnick carries out. Nice pass to Laidlaw. Laidlaw comes across the line, looks around, fires cross ice. It's out of the zone. Brook will get to it. Bangs it off the boards. Laidlaw was still there, but he comes out.
I don't think Tommy Laidlaw's used to passing back like that. Pass went out of the zone.
Howard-Chuck trying to get across the line, and a whistle stops play.
See Howard-Chuck dance there as he made the turn.
Brian Mullen's down.
Right.
Brian Mullen is down, and we've got McLean squaring off with Brook. Mullen is down in front of the Winnipeg Jets bench.
That would be a shame and a real blow to Winnipeg right now. He's been an excellent player for them. He leads them in power play goals, and Sam, it looks like a shoulder problem. He's holding his right arm. I didn't see what happened.
No, I didn't. Behind the play.
Obviously, it was Bobby Brook, because McLean went right after Bobby Brook. An excellent, excellent start for Brian Mullen this season.
You know what? Maybe it was just that. Maybe it was the right elbow.
Sure.
And maybe it hit the nerve, and it went a little numb on him.
He has 6 goals to this point, 4 on the power play. Leads the team with shots on goal. The last 2 games he's played in, including last night against the Island, he's had 8 shots in each game. So you know he's been an offensive force. He's on the bench, not going to the dressing room, even though there's only 6 seconds remaining. You see his right wrist. His right wrist is taped there, too.
Yeah.
See the tape on it, so he may have jammed that. It's hard to speculate.
6 seconds left in the first period. It's been an outstanding period for the Rangers. They've dominated play. They've outshot the Jets 13-5. Have had a couple of important saves. Good saves by John Van Biesbroek.
On McLean, when the Jets were on the power play, they've only given up 1 3-on-2, and Winnipeg put themselves offside. So you saw more of a concerted 20-minute effort instead of just like a 16-minute effort they had been doing in recent games.
And taking advantage of opportunities, getting a big break is Willie Huber, shot from the Rangers side of the red line. It took a big bounce over Pokey Reddick for a goal, and then the power play goal on the deflection by Helminen. So the Rangers head for the locker room, leading the Winnipeg Jets at the end of 1, 2-0. This game is brought to you in part by American Express. Don't leave home without it. Bruce Beck never does. He's downstairs right now. Bruce?
Well, in our pregame show, we had a feature. It happened in the NHL in October, and certainly there were a couple of plays that will start us off well for the month of November. First of all, Tom Martin's check on Jan Eriksson as Eriksson went into the bench, and then you had Willie Huber's goal, a strange goal, a 50-footer. It was like a knuckleball, took a funny bounce, went over Pokey.
The Rangers did get a break in that shorthanded goal, but they've also provided the fans and themselves with good, excellent penalty killing. They're very aggressive in getting the job done.
We're a moment away from the start of the second period. Let's go back to Bruce Beck.
Thanks, Sam, and let's review the scoring summary one more time. Willie Huber's shorthanded tally at 8:29, a funny shot from about 50 feet. It was unassisted, and the Rangers had a 1-0 lead. And then Raimo Helminen, his first of the campaign, a power play tally at 18:32. That was all the scoring in period number 1. Shots on goal, very one-sided. Rangers with 13, Eriksson and Maloney each had 2. Winnipeg Jets with only 5 shots on goal. Power play, Rangers 1 of 2, Winnipeg 0 of 3. Coming up on Wednesday night on Madison Square Garden Network, the Rangers take on the Detroit Red Wings. We'll bring you all the action beginning at 7:30 p.m. Set to go for period number 2, and Winnipeg will start with the man advantage for 58 seconds. Once again, Sam Rosen and John Davidson.
Thank you, Bruce. The Rangers will be on the road for 3 straight after that game in Detroit. It'll be Saturday afternoon in Philadelphia at 1 o'clock start on WOR-TV Channel 9, and then Sunday night in Quebec at 7:30 on Madison Square Garden Network.
Tell me, Jacques Demers doesn't know what he's doing? 3rd in the league in goals against are the Detroit Red Wings.
They've done the job.
Well, I don't blame you, because that's hard to believe.
Outstanding job. How about Alan Bester with a shutout last night for Toronto and the Leafs? What a great start.
Oh, wonderful. They're 6-2. Bester stopped 25 shots, I think, over the last few periods. They were outshot by Detroit 25-9.
So his performance here was no fluke.
Absolutely not.
He did it again. The Jets are on a power play, which has 40 seconds to run as they head up the ice. Into the middle, this is Paul McLean. Dumping it into the corner. And Beesbrook plays the glass. It's past Maloney. Shot off the boards. It's blocked in front by Melnick. Lets Laidlaw drive it out.
And we should mention that Mullen is back on the ice. He was hurt towards the end of the first period. What it appeared to be a problem with his right arm, whether it be the wrist or not, I'm not sure. But he's back on the big line here for the power play chance.
McLean. Always a good power play man. Goes for the puck. McLean, number 15. Checked by Laidlaw. 5 seconds to go on the power play. Ridley should clear and does, and that'll do it. Winnipeg 0 for 3. No shots on goal on that power play. Teams are at full strength. Huber has returned. Rangers send it in. Reddick stops the puck for Randy Carlyle. Oh, I almost fell down.
Them those 3 power play chances Winnipeg have had, they've had only 1 shot combined on those power plays.
Patrick caught off with Neufeld and stopped him. Down the boards and stopped at the point. Brad Berry toward the net. Big crowd in front. It was deflected by Patrick. Neufeld with a sharp angle shot that's wide. Near side, Brad Berry comes in. Sandstrom trying to bat it out. Huber takes the honors, sends it down. Rangers want to stop. This will be an icing. Tim Waters touches the rolling puck. 18:21 to go second period. Rangers 2 and the Winnipeg Jets nothing.
In the minors, you must have called it all 1,000 times. Then one day, you got the call. What's this for again, Pop? Here's to you. Beach with age for that clean, crisp taste that says Budweiser.
Compliment to that gentleman.
Big balls for you.
John Van Beesbrook hasn't had much work, which is fine for him, and when he has, he's been sharp.
Very sharp, isn't it? Coaches look at sheets after and they check the shots on goal, but the keys are the saves at the proper times. And Van Beesbrook made a big one in the first period off McLean when Winnipeg were on the power play.
Boschman on the draw, battles with Helminen, and Beesbrook around to Osborne. Rangers without Walt Dubney, out with a undisplaced fracture in the right index finger, and he should be back. They expect him to play on Wednesday night in Detroit. Helminen, nice job coming back, knocking the puck away from Smale, then knocking it out of the zone. Brad Berry, chased by Thomas Sandstrom. Berry, University of North Dakota product. Fine career there. Beatsbrook plays it around the board. Smale intercepting, and coming back is Helmanen again. Two good plays, back-checking Raimo Helmanen. Berry pushing it ahead, and Jackson breaks it up. And here's Osborne coming down with Sandstrom on the right. Osborne's shot is high off the glass. Marois plays it. Chased by Sandstrom. Mario Marois started his NHL career with the Rangers. Kissio back after the rolling puck, taken to the boards by Yarpenpää. Centered by Hamel and broken up. Rangers come out. Jan Eriksson. Now LaRouche takes it across. Off the boards. Marois will play it, chased by Kissio. Out in center ice, Melnick is there to pick it up. Went by him all the way back into the Ranger zone. Laidlaw. Forechecking, Bill Derlego, number 18. Laidlaw sending it down. This will be another icing. If Kite gets there, icing waved off. It went into the crease. And it's held along the post by Pokey Reddick. 16:48 to go in this second period. The Rangers, the 2-0 lead. Let's go to the scoreboard. Wilf Paymont has scored 2 goals. He had 2 last night. He now has 9. Buffalo leading Boston 4-1 as Buffalo starting to come alive. They won last night. Hartford and Quebec 1-1 in the second period. Anderson has the goal for Hartford. St. Louis leading 3-0. Jocelyn Lemieux, Doug Wickenheiser, and Doug Gilmore. The goal scorers for St. Louis. They lead Chicago with Walmsley in goal for St. Louis. L.A. a 2-0 lead. Robitaille with his 9th, and Taylor for L.A. Luke Robitaille.
Unbelievable. You mentioned Boston. What injury problems they're having. Crowder's out, Luzak's out, Helvin's out, and last night they lost Neely with a knee problem in Philadelphia, and they don't have a lot of
playing great.
Oh, he's been playing super.
Missing Crowder, their leading scorer from last year. What a loss that is.
Luzak all year. They had Larson out for part of the season. Bork out for part of the season already. Now Neely, and I'm not sure how severe the injury is, but he hurt it last night in Philadelphia.
Now we have an icing on the Winnipeg Jets. They go back and forth with the icing.
Tommy Laidlaw's played his entire career in the National Hockey League, except for 1 game, and that's when he came out of university, Northern Michigan. He played 1 game in New Haven during the playoffs that season. Every game since has been in the National League. Speaking of New Haven, they've won 4 straight, including a brawl-filled game last night against Springfield. Springfield is the farm club of the Islanders.
Right.
They're back at each after each other tonight in New Haven.
They won in a shootout last night.
4-3. Incidentally, Donnelly had 2 goals, and plus he had another one in the shootout to help win the game.
And Ron Scott is 3-0 down there. He's
played well. A tough fella for the Nighthawks. Kalikoski broke his jaw last night as he was suckered by Gerald Diddick in the brawl. New ice again here at Madison Square Garden. It chipped away a little bit. Tattafuzo from New Jersey, the linesman repairing it.
Set for the face-off. 16:31 to go. Sater taking a good look at things. He was the entire coaching staff was upset with the performance of the Rangers in St. Louis.
Team, it wasn't much fun coming back to the hotel, was it, on that bus, Sam?
He's puck along the boards. I think, in talking with Ted Sater afterwards, discussing it, and I said, well, it's 1 loss in the last 7. But they were disappointed in the performance.
Lost. Yeah, there was not much effort in that hockey game in their minds, in their eyes. They worked hard. They were supposed to have the next day off. They went back and skated a half hour without pucks and were skated hard. And the players were concerned, and I think that's the key, too. When the players are concerned, well, then it really means something.
The rookie Reddick looking around. The Rangers wanted a delay of game call here. They're looking around to the referee, Don Koharski. And Koharski skates by and mentions something to the goaltender. There's Don Koharski, the referee tonight. He was out at the Meadowlands last night in the game against Buffalo and New Jersey.
Damon, you mentioned he's got a couple tonight. He scored last night, too. He's playing on a line with Perreault, which doesn't hurt. Pokey Reddick had trouble getting into the Coliseum for the game. There was a big lineup for Billy Joel tickets. And Pokey Reddick was walking in with the team. And the security guard yelled at him, ran over, grabbed him, hey, you. quit jumping in the line. He's a hockey player. It's all getting into the Winnipeg Jets own arena for training camp 1 year, too. John Ferguson jokingly said, I'm going to get him an NHL pass. Whenever he's questioned, just flash it, you're in, kid. He's a laid-back guy, is Pokey Reddick, and he's a good competitor. And you take the laid-back attitude when nothing bothers him yet being competitive, you add those two together, it's a pretty good disposition for a goalkeeper.
Tough to tell. It's early in the season, but I was trying to feel John Ferguson out about.
He said there is a concern there when you compare their team with the other teams in the division. They don't have, goaltending that's 100% for sure that it's going to be there. Right. Edmonton's going to.
Oh, are they ever? Put in front, Samuelson playing the position well, knocked it away. Paul Fenton able to lift it out of the zone. Ridley comes down. Ridley across the line is double teamed, but here comes Kelly Miller looking for Fenton, who was streaking for the net, and it was poked away. Miller looked like he wanted to shoot it first, then saw Fenton cutting in from the left side and wanted to pass, and by that time he lost the play.
Fenton's in a rebound lane, Sam. That was a good place for Kelly Miller to shoot the puck. There hasn't been a shot on goal in this period. It's still 13-5 in favor of the Rangers, and we're 5 minutes into it.
Right. Battle along the boards. Backhanded toward the net. And they continue to battle, and a penalty is called. Penalty called on the Rangers as the Jets continue to play the puck. Now the whistle stops play. We had the battle going on in front. 14:53 to go in the second period. Rangers lead 2-0, but a power.
In Chicago, the Windy City, the word around town is German.
Bex.
In Boston, where all parties are not tea parties, the word around town is German.
Bex.
And in San Francisco, the city where people leave their hearts, the word around town is German.
Bex.
Bex, the #1 imported German beer.
Kelly Miller gets 2 minutes for charging.
The puck goes back in front. You see the battle there. Boom, he gives a shot to McBain. Van Beesbroek made a good save there on Wilson by simply standing up. Van Beesbroek standing up very well in this game. Winnipeg on their 4th power play. Their previous 3, 1 shot on goal. That's all.
Paul McLean with a puck along the boards. Tried to shoot. It was blocked by Melnick. Shoots, and it's off the stick of Van Beesbroek. Howard-Chuck with a back pass. Marois to Carlisle. He shoots. It's deflected by Brooks. McLean has the puck. Round it goes to Howard-Chuck. Howard-Chuck drops it behind the net. It's McLean. Yarvenpah set up in front. The pass coming off the boards was Howard-Chuck for the shot that was stopped. Yarvenpah has the puck. Yarvenpah back it goes to Marois. Now to Yarvenpah, the rookie from Finland. Across to Carlisle with room. He shoots. It got through, and it's stopped by Van Beesbroek and poked wide. Melnick went down to block it, and it went under him and got through to Van Beesbroek. Laidlaw clears it down.
Winnipeg better on their power play there. They're using Yarvenpah a lot on the power play, but they're jamming the front of the net, and they're getting some point shots now. They've had 3 on this power play alone.
1 minute to go on the penalty to Kelly Miller as Osborne's able to clear all the way down. 13:50 left, second period. Rangers lead 2-0. Both goals in the first period. Huber and Helminen, the goal scorers. Tom Martin comes into the Rangers zone. He's hit by Huber. Good check into the boards. Puck around on the far side. Marois after it. Knocked away by Patrick. Stopped by Martin. Ahead for Marois. Into the corner, McBain. He's checked there. McBain still with the puck. Drops it off. Tom Martin with it. Martin puts it in front for Carlisle. It's knocked away. Huber has it. And Huber clears all the way down. 15 seconds to go on the penalty to Kelly Miller. One last rush for the Winnipeg Jets. Tom Martin sends it in. Rolling puck stopped by Van Beesbroek for Jackson. 5 seconds to go on the power play as it's cleared all the way down. That'll do it. Kelly Miller is back. Teams are at full strength with 12:50 to go in the second period. And the Jets are 0 for 4, and the Rangers' fine penalty killing continues. Jets come out. Andrew McBain with the puck. Fires it rink wide for Ron Wilson. Taken back by Ridley. Open is Kelly Miller. Miller against Waters. Miller looks around and shoots. Knocked away with a blocker. Pokey Reddick turned the blocker to the inside. He put that rebound right into the corner. That puck almost got through. It was deflected in front by Waters. Kept in by Ridley with good hustle. McBain fires it out. Stopped by Samuelson. Across the line comes Don Jackson. Jackson takes it down the boards. It's centered and then cleared out by Bradbury. Samuelson back for the puck. Laurie Boschman comes out to chase him. Out in center, Kelly Kissio. In front, that's Fredrik Olsson, rookie defenseman from Sweden for the Winnipeg Jets, replacing the injured Dave Ellett in the lineup tonight.
Dave Ellett went to see the doctor after the game last night. He has a broken nose, as he was really lambasted by a pair of the Islanders. And he had to wait 3 hours for the doctor to get out of some work. He was doing some plastic surgery work, and he had to wait and wait and wait for him, and I guess he was in a lot of pain. He tried it in warm-up, but not able to play.
Puck deflects over the boards. 11:28 to go, first period. You're watching Rangers Hockey on MSG Network. We bring the Garden home.
I'm Jimmy Connors, and it's about time you met my partner, my financial side.
All successful people and companies have a financial side.
Let's go, partner.
But to really be a winning team, you might need some help.
We need some help.
You need Maine Weber behind you for financial expertise, sound advice. We believe the quality of life just might depend on the quality of your financial services.
Thank you, Maine Weber. You're awfully stiff. You've got to loosen up a little bit.
Sam Rosen, John Davidson, and Bruce Beck at Madison Square Garden. Rangers leading 2-0. Rangers coming into this game a record of 2-4-4. One loss in their last 7. 2 wins and 4 ties.
Only one win at home, Sam, and you have to have better records than that if you want to compete in any division.
Right now, the Patrick division is really shaping up as a tough division. Steal by Carlisle. The shot, he scores! Carlisle with a fine play and a fine rising shot, and it's 2-1.
What a great play by Carlisle, the best defenseman Winnipeg has to offer. He read the play, Sam. The pass was coming up the middle, and he read it, intercepted it, and then got a great shot up high just underneath the crossbar. Melnick tried to block it, and it may even have deflected off of him. But Osborne threw it blind right up the middle as he was forced. And there you see Helminen outside of the zone. The Rangers leaving the zone early on that play, and Carlisle, the smart veteran, read it, intercepted, and turned the turnover into a goal for Winnipeg. This gets them back into the hockey game.
Third year with the Winnipeg Jets. Randy Carlisle, who played with Pittsburgh before that, and then Toronto. This shot is stopped by Van Beesbrook. The rebound is loose, and Debelois knocks it away. McLean keeps it in. Suddenly, the Jets with a lot of life here. Yarvenpah up the board to Maloney. Gave it away. McLean bumped by Debelois. Here's Maloney to Brooks. 3-on-3 across. Brooks, long shot kicked out by Reddick. Brooks in the corner, checked by Yarvenpah. Out in center, Huber setting it back. Here's Jim Kite. Tried to lead Howard Chuck, but Huber broke it up. Carlisle's goal is unassisted at 8:57, his third of the season. Shot by Huber is blocked. And Reddick covers up side of the net with 10:23 to go in his second period. And the Rangers leading 2-1.
Sam, earlier I mentioned about an 8.5 lie on the stick that McLean uses. What that means is the heel and the shaft. In other words, the shaft and the blade, where they meet, it's almost like a right angle. He's a person, when he plays, he skates straight up and down, so the puck is in his feet a lot. And with that type of a stick, he's able to shoot the puck when it's in tight. You saw him almost score in the first period. There you see the actual shaft and the blade of the stick. He keeps it inside. You know, he sharpens his teeth 4 times a season.
I remember that. We've talked about that in Winnipeg last year.
I don't know how he does it. I have no idea how he does it, but hey, it works for him. He's a goal scorer.
Not a great skater, but he's a goal scorer. Shot by Samuelson, kicked out by Reddick. Good save. Here's Erickson. And the shot is deflected in front. The late penalty coming up on the Jets.
Holding on Waters. The Rangers won the faceoff, Sam, and set up everything. They got a shot on goal and drew a penalty.
Waters says some fine words to Don Koharski, but he goes off nevertheless.
The name of the show is Off the Wall Astrology, and I'm your hostess, Barbara Wall. I'm here every Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday from 6:30 to 7 on Cablevision 12 to do your horoscope. Why don't you tune in? Better still, Why don't you call in? And you can get your horoscope done live every Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday on Cablevision 12, 6:30 to 7 p.m. Off-the-wall astrology.
Waters goes for holding at 9:45. Rangers' third power play of the game. They're 1 for 2. Penalty minutes for Winnipeg. Carlisle leads them with 16. Throughout the league, it's Chris Nyland. No surprise. 72 minutes in penalties. Ended tonight's action. Montreal's general manager Serge Savard is here tonight and scouting, and I saw Serge and John talking before. They were both smoking cigars. I said, "Who bought?" And John said, "Serge's turn." Loose puck in the corner. Serge Savard, I thought you elected to the Hall of Fame. I'll tell that story in a minute. Serge said, "Oh, when you go upstairs, you tell John I said hello and remind him about the backhanded goal I scored." In the 79 playoff. Overtime, Montreal beat us here, 4-3, I think it was. And if we would have won that game, I'm still convinced we would have won the series. That would have tied it at 2. Chopped at, stopped by Patrick. Power play for the Rangers. 30 seconds gone by. Ridley along the boards. Ridley, Miller, and LaRouche on, with Patrick and Huber at the points and Ridley controlling the puck. Good work by Smale, quickly getting up to the point now. Here's Ridley, driving one, knocked down. And where's the puck? Kelly Miller went flying by and deflected it up into the crowd. Row 65, Sam LaRouche with a nice pick on Smale up high, allowed Miller to go in and take the shot. LaRouche is up high, and he picks right there on Smale at number 9. That allowed Miller to move in. There's the shot. Or, excuse me, Sandstrom, I guess it is. Who had that shot? Anyway, no, that was deflected by Miller's shot. Ridley's shot. Miller deflected it up high. LaRouche with a good play as he interfered with Smale. You're not used to Ridley taking that long slot shot. Do that very often. He could use a goal, too. He hasn't scored since the third goal of the game. Reddick, remember, really likes to stay on his feet. You see his curved blade on his goal stick. He likes to use that. I asked Van Beesbroek about it. He says, no, I use a straight blade. He says, I worry about stopping the puck before I worry about shooting it around the boards. I think all young goaltenders nowadays, like Reddick coming up, they're used to those curved sticks. Now, what did you say about Ridley? When was the last time he scored? Give me that again. Third game of the season. What did I say? Third goal of the game. No, okay. third game of the season. That's what I thought. My apologies. 50 seconds to go in the power play here. Rangers have Helminen, Sandstrom, and Osborne on. Osborne trying to win the puck does. Samuelson comes to the line. Takes a bump and dumps the puck in. Reddick stops it. Driven around the board. Samuelson stops it. Looks. Plays to the corner. To Osborne. Now it's Helminen. Helminen to Samuelson. To Helminen. Knocked away. Good play by Smale. Once again, sneaking up from behind on Helminen and knocking the puck away. 22 seconds to go in the Rangers power play. Overskated by Kissio. Osborne lifts into the corner. Jim Kite goes for it. Rangers keep it in. 10 seconds to go on the power play. Sandstrom feeds Laidlaw. Laidlaw stopped from behind. Penalty calls. Gilles Hamel pulling down Laidlaw with 6 seconds to go in the penalty to Waters. It'll be Hamel going off. Rangers will have a brief 2-man advantage. You're watching Rangers Hockey on MSG Network. We bring the Garden home.
Yo, I'm Paul. Recent college grad where I tooled around on this. 2-wheel drive. Now that I'm in the real world, I got a front-wheel drive Ford Escort. It came with AM/FM stereo, 5-speed, manual transmission, tinted glass. All freebies. Saved over $700, and that's before I negotiated with my dealer. Yeah, you gotta love upper mobility.
Hamel for hooking at 11:39. He did hook Laidlaw on that play, but it was a nice pass from Helminen to set up Laidlaw, who in turn was hooked behind by Hamel. 6 seconds remain in the penalty to Waters. So the Rangers, if they can win this faceoff, might be able to set something up. Brook and Wilson on the draw. Brook, Maloney, LaRouche, Patrick, and Huber on. Comes on goal, steered aside by Reddick. Maloney gets to the puck. Waters is back on the ice right now as Patrick shoots. Saved by Reddick, and he's got it. Chest high, holds it just as Waters came out of the penalty box. It's now a 5-on-4 Rangers advantage on the power play. If you're a fan of the World Wrestling Federation, Big John, you won't want to miss 3 one-hour highlight shows right here on Madison Square Garden Network. Wrestling Challenge, Superstars of Wrestling, and Wrestling Spotlight can be seen this Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday nights at 11 o'clock right here on Madison Square Garden Network. I understand Big John Stud wants to get after.
Well, they asked me to do that in Calgary last year. I said, are you crazy? I'd have trouble getting through the ropes, over the ropes, under the ropes, anything.
I want to get one of those battle royals. We could all go in there and run around. Rangers power play, minute 35 to go. This is their 4th power play opportunity. Brook fires it out. There's 7:50 to go in the second period. Rangers leading 2-1. Marwa fires, knocked down by Patrick. Checked by Ron Wilson, and the puck is out of the zone. Again, Brook. Stopped by Reddick. Marwa driving it out of the board, off the boards and out of the zone.
Winnipeg using quick forwards. They had Wilson and Smale on the ice. 2 of the quicker skaters for Winnipeg, killing penalties.
Nice comeback by the Rangers, but they're offside. It started with Van Beesbrook quickly playing the boards out to center. And the Rangers almost caught the Jets, but they were offside on the play. Ramo Helminen has one of the Rangers' goals, a power play goal. This is only his 2nd game of the season, having returned to the lineup after suffering a broken hand in one of the preseason games.
He used the hockey stick made in Finland. Torpso, it's called. And it must work for him. He's a good scorer. Dan Maloney, very fiery behind the bench. A real worker as a coach. He likes to have his players take the puck, move it outside along the boards. He hates stupid mistakes. He did a good job in Toronto. He finally got a lot of veterans there to work hard. One thing that was interesting, though, is he was on the team, or coaching the team, when they traded Delego. And, of course, Delego went to Boston, and in turn, Delego went to Winnipeg. Now, Maloney's back, and Delego's on the team, and that's got to be a little uneasy. But Delego worked hard over the summer, and they say he's played fairly well for the hockey club this season.
Kissio carrying the puck on the Rangers power play. Osborne taps it in. Kissio goes after it. Checked by Kite. Now it's Osborne in the corner. Kite on him. Osborne looks for some room. Back for Kissio. Boschman on him. In the corner, Sandstrom. Nobody in front for the Rangers as Sandstrom gets away from Kite. Into the corner. Helminen. Back out. Samuelson with a shot high. Osborne with Kite right on him. Got a screen from the referee, Koharski. Helminen looking around. Osborne set up in front. Now Kissio's in front as well. Kissio goes back to the point. Helminen with Samuelson. Shot knocked aside. Pretty work with a stick by Pokey Reddick to deflect that rebound up into the crowd.
And again, he turns the shot into the corner as Samuelson got the shot. Finally, he got open on the point. What a battle in front between Osborne and Jimmy Kite. Here's the shot as he moves it and shoots it on the fly. See that stick and foot turn? The puck would work right up into the stands to the right of the goaltender, Pokey Reddick. He controls rebounds pretty well. He seems to be much more comfortable in goal than he was on the island last night. Sam, he played well here. What a battle. Kite and Osborne, 2 big players. Kite was using his hockey stick up high on Osborne's body. Kite's used a lot to kill penalties when the other team has a power play where they have big forwards, because Kite is strong and he can move people out in front of the net.
Boschman on the draw with Ridley. 14 seconds to go on the Rangers power play. Ridley wins it, but it's knocked out. Good play by Wilson getting to the puck. 5 seconds to go on the Rangers power play. Melton avoids Howard-Chuck, it's broken up. Howard-Chuck gets it back. Teams are at full strength. Lead in front for Yarvenpie, stopped by Van Beesbrook. Benton dumps it out to center.
Sam, how about that pass? He just laid it out there and just rolled ever so slightly and slowly over to the winger, Yarvenpie. What a beautiful pass by Howard-Chuck.
I think we've said for a long time that because Howard-Chuck plays in the Smythe division, he's so overshadowed by Wayne Gretzky. What a superb player Dale Howard-Chuck is. His last shot hit the side of the net. 5:50 to go, second period. Rangers leading 2-1. Jets pressing here with a shot off the glove and off the side of the net. Battle continues through puck. Wraparound try, smothered by Van Beesbrook. And finally, the play stops, but the Jets all over the Rangers in that last 20 to 30 seconds. 5:38 to go, second period. Rangers still lead at 2-1.
your day like helping others make it on their own.
You bring out the pride we all feel inside.
It's going to be easy next week.
It's more than just a job you do. You make America work, and it's fun for you.
It works.
Here's to you, Beechwood aged for that clean, crisp taste that says Budweiser.
This fun for you.
Rangers holding on to a 2-1 lead, had a big chance, back-to-back power play opportunities, failed to cash in. Now the Jets applying some pressure. Winnipeg were 17th last year killing penalties. They were number 4 going into tonight's game. Give them a lot of credit for improvement in that area, and that, of course, has helped turn around their second period here. Puck stopped at the point by Brad Berry. Got around past Ray Neufeld. Laurie Boschman has it, and Neufeld in the corner. Kissio's on him. Neufeld, who came over to Winnipeg last year in the trade for Dave Babbage. Played with the Hartford Whalers, and the whistle stopped play. 5:18 to go. Don't forget, you can join the New York Knicks on their West Coast swing, which begins tomorrow night. The Knicks take on the Golden State Warriors. The action gets underway at 10:30 right here on Madison Square Garden Network. What a game last night at the Garden. Michael Jordan scoring 50 points, 21 in the fourth quarter to lead the Bulls over the Knicks. 108 to 103.
2013, the shots on goal now in favor of the New York Rangers. Face off in their own zone.
Talking to Coach Ted Sater this afternoon, he said one thing we want to get back to is defensive style.
They worked on it in practice. They worked hard. And I think what happens more and more is if you get goaltending to come up with big saves, you feel more comfortable in your own zone, and then it becomes not such a mental block. Every time you make a bad play, it's in the net. You're getting some solid goaltending from Van Beesbrook, especially against Carlisle's line on that last flurry.
Puck along the corner, worked up the board, stopped by Kite, who shoots it wide. Maloney picks up the puck and comes out. Maloney coming in against Marois. Back behind the net. After it there, Develois couldn't find it. Taps it loose down to Maloney. Back to the near side of Brook. Brook checked by Wilson. Now Kite. Battle continues. Brook against Kite. In comes Maloney, trying to work it free. Centers is blocked by Marois, and here come the Jets. 3-on-2 as they break out. Wilson in the middle. Down the left side, Tom Martin. He shoots wide. And it caroms all the way up into the crowd. Bad shot by Martin.
3-on-2. The defenseman fell down, and Martin just buried his head and blasted it wide. You can see he's unhappy with himself. Simply not a good play at all.
4:35 to go in the second period. Watch this rush again.
There you see Samuelson as he turns across his legs. Whoops. Looks like Bambi on ice. And Martin looked and then buried his head, and it's just that shot missed the net by 8 feet. Caromed into the crowd, so the faceoff ends up outside of the zone. The Rangers were caught with a 3-on-2, I believe, for the second time this game. And both times Winnipeg have not gotten a shot on goal.
Brian Mullen hasn't been out for a couple of shifts now. Yarvenpau's been playing with Howard-Chuck and McLean. That shot went off the chest of Van Beesbrook. Here's Helmanen. 3-on-2 Rangers. Sandstrom. Carlisle breaks up the rush with a good check. Yarvenpau to Howard-Chuck. Broken up by Patrick. Osborne, who leads the Rangers with 7 goals. Sandstrom collides with McLean, and the puck taken back. Howard-Chuck. Puck deflected. Yarvenpau after it with Huber on him. Manu Yarvenpau dropping it off for Howard-Chuck. Checked by Patrick. Good play. Patrick playing well tonight on defense for the Rangers. We mentioned he's struggling early in the season. He came into the game a -12.
He hasn't shown any promise at all throughout the early games of the season. But here he's showing some. He's played more disciplined. He seems to be making better decisions, Sam, I think, more than anything. They play well defensively. Things offensively come hand in hand. They just happen for the player because he has such good natural skills.
Boschman takes the puck in the corner, sends it all the way through. Knocked out by Fenton. Brad Berry is back for the puck with 3:15 to go in the second period. 2-1 Rangers. Both Ranger goals in the first period. Shorthanded goal by Willie Huber. A 55-footer that bounced over the shoulder of Pokey Reddick. A big high bounce. And a power play goal by Raimo Helmanen. Carlisle has scored here in the second period. Reddick stopping the puck. Jets lift it out. Laidlaw is back for it. Boschman forechecking for Winnipeg. Waters. Boschman goes for the puck. Melnick on him. And Ridley is there to take it away. Good check by Larry Melnick on Laurie Boschman. Zeller gathers the puck.
Excuse me, we're seeing good checking by both teams right now. We have a 2-1 hockey game late in the second period, and both teams trying to be as disciplined as possible.
Across the line comes Andrew McBain. His shot deflected by Jackson. Samuelson will take it down for the Rangers. With some room, he comes in and drops it down. Marois bangs it around the glass and up into the crowd. 2:14 to go in the second period. Shots on goal 20-14 for the game in favor of the Rangers. Mario Marois. And there's Brian Mullen on the bench.
You wonder if it's the injury problem or if he's sitting there because Dan Maloney wants him to sit there. He's had such a good year, and it's a close game. I'm sure it has to do with the injury.
Had a shift early in the period, but really hasn't been out.
Yeah.
Last couple of minutes.
We saw Marois a few minutes ago, or a few seconds ago on the screen. He signed a new contract this year, and he's played very well ever since. Boschman takes all their faceoffs in their own zone. If he doesn't, it happens to be DeLego, but the majority go to Boschman. Look at him cheat. Now Kitsio cheats. And McCord, the linesman, tries to get them straightened out.
And Boschman wins.
Boschman is about 80-83% on faceoffs this season. He's excellent on them.
Jackson plays the boards. Now it's Boschman into the Rangers zone. Just under 2 minutes to go. Dale Howardchuk will be Bruce Beck's guest following the second period. Stay with us for that. We'll also have a New Haven report. Rich Capola sending us a report on the New Haven Nighthawks.
Boschman went right off the ice and Yarvenpah came on. Maloney had two centermen on the ice for that face-off in their own zone.
Kitsio was checking Olesen and didn't see the pass coming for him. Don Jackson has the puck with a minute and a half to go. Jackson fanned on that pass in front for Howardchuk. They score. McLean. Jackson lost the puck, and that caused the play as the Jets were all over him. And Howardchuk setting up Paul McLean for the tying goal.
Yarvenpah goes in here at Jackson as Jackson fans, and then he had taken the body and he got the puck out front. You know, it's amazing. Howardchuk doesn't shoot the puck there. He sees McLean over to the side. McLean finishes the play. 90% of the players in the league would have shot the puck if they got it in front like Howardchuk's going to here. But he doesn't. He holds on, moves it across, and what a pretty play. A turnover. Don Jackson had trouble getting the puck out of his own zone as he fanned going backwards, Sam. And the three forwards in that line just turned that turnover into a goal just as quick as you could see it.
Great reaction by all three, and started by the fine check by Yarvenpah and Jackson.
Well, he went in, and after Jackson had missed it, Yarvenpah took the body, and that's the key when you forecheck.
Maloney along the boards. So the Jets have come back to tie it on goals by Carlisle and McLean. Carlisle, and again, both times, the inability of the Rangers to clear the zone cost them. Carlisle with a steal last time and the long shot for the goal, and here the excellent forechecking by Yarvenpah, stealing the puck away from Jackson. Deflected up into the bench, and now Martin.
Don Maloney.
Maloney involved.
Martin hits everything in sight. There he nailed Don Maloney, and Don Maloney took exception. It'll be interesting to see how this is going to be called. You talked about turnovers. Yes, Jackson made the mistake. Winnipeg scores. The one previous to that was Osborne. And he threw the puck line out of his own zone. Everybody involved here now. Even Koharski, the referee, is trying to get them separated. The original two, remember, were Martin and Don Maloney. Maloney took exception to the check, the heavy body check by Martin along the boards.
And Martin got guided away by Patapuzzo, the lineman. Patapuzzo wants Martin to head for the locker room, and he will. Don Maloney starts to head for the penalty box. He's going for the Rangers locker room.
10-7, the shots on goal here in the second period in favor of Winnipeg. Winnipeg keyed this period with some excellent penalty killing, I think, more than anything, Sam, and then they've taken advantage, played discipline, taken advantage of mistakes. Watch this body check. Don Maloney was waiting for the puck, and Martin finished it heavily. He seemed to keep the elbow down that I could see. Don Maloney didn't like it. The puck had gone up into the player's box as it deflected off of Don Maloney. Dan Maloney, I don't know if he's just unhappy with what's been called or what hasn't been called.
Howardchuk has been called over along with Laidlaw as Don Koharski explains the penalties to the captains. Steve Maloney, what a contrast between Dan Maloney and previous coach Barry Long.
Yeah, Dan Maloney is much more demanding. Barry Long was a good person, but I think the players relaxed too much with him.
Rangers' next game is Wednesday night when they meet the Detroit Red Wings from Joe Louis Arena. We'll be on the air right here on Madison Square Garden Network at 7:30. Rangers' next 3 games are on the road. Saturday afternoon in Philadelphia, WOR-TV telecast at 1 o'clock, and then Sunday in Quebec at 7:30 right here on Madison Square Garden Network.
Peter Klima leads Detroit. 10 goals he's got, 15 points. And he's a great player. Yzerman coming back and having a good season. He's second in scoring with Detroit with 9.
And watch out because Johnny Ogrodnik is just starting to play and get into shape. He was out with an injury, but he's just starting to go.
Detroit will be rested. They played on Saturday night at home, or excuse me, on the road in Toronto. They don't play again until the Rangers come into Detroit.
4 minutes each. Martin gets 2 minutes for roughing, 2 minutes for charging, and Don Maloney gets 4 minutes for roughing. So it's a wash. No loss in manpower. Time of the penalties, 19:12.
So Maloney upset because Martin charged him on the play.
Ridley bangs it off the boards. Down the ice it goes with 30 seconds to go in the second period. 2-2 the score. Rangers winning the first period 2-0, and the Jets about to win this period. Huber breaks up the play. Patrick has the puck. 15 seconds to go as Kelly Miller comes down. Miller wrist shot, kicked out by Reddick. A shot. Reddick had to make a good save. That bouncer is stopped by Reddick again. And Doug Smale comes down. He drives one that's blocked by Huber with 2 seconds to go. Try to set the block. That's it. Rangers win period number 1, 2-0. The Jets win the second period, 2-0. And a third period, and who knows, maybe more. Still left in this hockey game. John Van Beesbrook heads off. 2-2, end of 2. We'll be back with Dale Howardchuk in a moment. Winnipeg Jets outworking the Rangers in that second period have tied the score at 2-2, and their captain is with Bruce Beck right now. Let's go to Bruce.
Thank you, Sam. With me, one of the outstanding players in the National Hockey League, Dale Howardchuk, now in his 6th season, and on 4 different occasions he's accounted for 100 points or more. Does it ever bother you that you're playing for Winnipeg, a place that perhaps doesn't get the recognition that it deserves, and therefore you don't get the same type of recognition as a player of Bossy or Dion or Savard's ability?
Well, I think that's a lot to do, like you say, with the location of Winnipeg, and but it hasn't really bothered me too much. I think we've got a pretty good, it's a pretty good town, and the people are really behind the team. And we've had 6 years that I've been there. It's been a good group of guys, so it makes things easier. But no doubt, if I was in a few other places, things probably be a lot more off-ice stuff. But it doesn't bother me right now.
You signed an 8-year contract in 1985. What about the motivation? Does that change because you're secure?
No, I don't think so. I think I got enough stuff deep inside me that I don't want to have a slack off in a year, and I want to keep going and try and outdo whether it's team totals or individual totals of the year before. And after the year we had last year, it gives the guy a pretty good motivation to come back and have a good year this year. So we've made a few changes, and things have worked well. It's been easier on myself to come out and play every night.
One of the changes is bringing in a new coach, Dan Maloney. What has that meant to you personally?
He's been really good. He's a no-nonsense type coach, and if you're working and giving him 100% each night, you're going to play hockey for him. And as far as my position with him as a team captain, he's been very good. And as a player, he expects a lot of offense from myself and my line mates, and we're going to play the power plays, and we're going to have different penalty killers. And so he's pretty well simplified my job.
One of the things that impresses me is your vision on the ice. We go back to the second period, and on this particular shot, It's unbelievable that you didn't take the shot and you gave it up. Tell us about it.
I seen Hanu behind the net fighting the guy, and he sort of swiped at it once, and when he missed it, I took a little peek, and Paul McLean was off to the side there. So I saw him a little in good time, and with a goalie like Johnny Van Biesbroek, you got to get him moving to beat him.
What is the key to being able to find the open man on the ice?
Well, I think it's a question of turning to the puck all the time and not turning your back on the flow of the game. And the question is keep the head up all the time. You see a lot of guys put their head down and not really anticipating. But what I like to do is I like to think about, I try to anticipate where the puck's going to be and what my move's going to be. And if it's there, it's there. If it's not, then I keep my feet moving and keep moving with the puck. But if you get caught standing still, then it's a lot tougher.
Off to another good start this year, 6 goals, 6 assists. Good luck to you.
Thanks very much.
They talk about the great players of the game, Lemieux, Gretzky, Savard, Bossy. Put this man's name right in there with it, Dale Hawerchuk. Back upstairs to Sam Rosen.
Thanks, Bruce. Thanks. Getting his third of the season at 8:57 unassisted. Then Paul McLean is sixth from Hawerchuk and Yarvenpah at 18:32 to tie it as we get set to go here in the third period. Shots on goal in the second period. Rangers 8 total 21. Jets 10 total 15. This program is authorized by Madison Square Garden Productions Incorporated solely for the entertainment of our audience. Any publication, rebroadcast, or the use of the pictures, descriptions, and accounts of this event, including the imposition of a charge for viewing the program, without the express written consent of Madison Square Garden Productions Incorporated, is prohibited. A delay here as we get set to start the third period. I'm not sure what it is. The gate is open. A lot of water still on the ice, John. And let's see. Yeah, they're going to bring out the squeegee and do a number. Big period for the New York Rangers, Sam. The reason is they're tied with Washington. They're 3 points behind Washington in the standings. And Washington's tied with the Islanders, but they have 2 games in hand over Washington. It's a home game. They have to start getting confidence in their home play. They just do not seem to win it on home ice. The Rangers I'm talking about, they've got to get that home good feeling going.
You don't want to fall so far behind in this division where you're seeing Philadelphia 9-2, Pittsburgh 8-3, New Jersey 6-5, Islanders 5-4-1, Washington 5-6-1. Just about all at the 500 mark or better. Rangers are 2 games under 500.
And of all those teams, the Rangers and maybe Washington are the teams that just don't feel good about themselves. Everybody else, the Islanders are playing better and real well at home, as a matter of fact. The Rangers get into trouble early here.
Penalty called as Larry Melnick pulls down Hanu Yarvenpah. Holding is the call. A giveaway in their own zone. The aggressive play of Yarvenpah, and Melnick pulls him down.
Well, the big line starts the third period for the Winnipeg Jets, and they get the job done again. Yarvenpah tries to get to the net after that rebound, and Melnick calls him down.
12 seconds. It's the 5th power play for the Winnipeg Jets. They're 0 for 4. Melnick for holding at 12 seconds of the third period. The premier equestrian sports showcase, the National Horse Show, opens up at Madison Square Garden Tuesday night at 7:30. You can see all the pageantry of the opening night ceremonies right here on Madison Square Garden Network. Right here, important for the Rangers to kill this one off. And Brook clears. The period started with Maloney and Martin still in the penalty boxes. They went off at 19:12. Got 4 minutes each. Carlisle drives it in all the way around the board. Brook checked by McLean. In comes Yarvenpah, and now it's Carlisle digging it free for McLean. Kicked away by Huber. Back behind the net, Yarvenpah. Hanu Yarvenpah was a 4th-round draft pick in 1986. Plays pretty big. Good-looking player. Uses the body pretty well.
But he was drafted also 4 years ago by Montreal. He's been drafted by 2 teams, so he's not exactly a young rookie. He's got lots of international league experience, international hockey experience. 20 games worth, Sam. He knows what he's doing out there. He had a great preseason, 4 goals, 1 game.
Carlisle just waits and drives one. It was blocked in front. Another drive. Glove save through the screen. What an important save that was. Van Biesbroek reaches back with the glove and robs Hanu Yarvenpah.
What a shot this was. It may have been McLean that got the shot. Yarvenpaugh and Howard Chuck are in front. Look at Van Beesbroek. Look for that puck. He is trying to find it, Sam. That's the John Van Beesbroek we've been looking for. There he sees it's going to be screened. He got down. He darted his head back and forth. Finally got vision of the puck, and McLean got that puck through traffic. And a heck of a glove save by John Van Beesbroek. A key save.
Good shot by McLean. Yarvenpaugh setting the screen in front. 57 seconds to go. In the power play for the Winnipeg Jets, Kelly Miller on the draw, battling with Howard Chuck. Samuelson tied up by McLean. Yarvenpaugh pokes it free and goes for the puck. Laidlaw goes for him. Up the boards to Carlisle. Carlisle just pokes it ahead for Howard Chuck. Back pass. Olesen shot. That's wide. Howard Chuck again. Jets able to keep the puck in the Rangers zone. Yarvenpaugh in the corner, checked by Samuelson. 30 seconds to go on the power play. Back pass to Carlisle. Carlisle drives one and it deflects in. It may have deflected twice on the way in, but it's a power play goal. And the Jets lead 3-2.
Winnipeg now 1 for 5 on their power play, and they get a key goal here early in the third period. The comeback for the team who are trailing by 2 goals now lead 3-2. A deflection. Look at McLean way up high. Way high. And he kept the stick in the right position. It was deflected by the Rangers as they went out to cover and block the shot. Kelly Miller was out on Carlisle, and McLean didn't flinch at all with the shot. The puck came to him, and he redirected it off the goalpost. A great play. Tim Kerr scored one like that late in the game last night to beat Boston. His deflection went off 2 goalposts, and it was a deflection from a long ways out. McLean, a goal scorer, got it done again.
Second goal of the game for Paul McLean. His second power play goal of the season. He has 7 goals this year, and the Jets lead for the first time. 3 unanswered goals. Race for the puck. Doug Smale comes down. Out Boschman there first. Feeds for Smale. Centers it off the skate. And the Jets just come to life, starting in the second period when they killed off those back-to-back penalties.
Early in the period. And they played discipline, Sam. Pokey Reddick hasn't had many rebound shots on him. The Rangers don't seem to drive to the net very well. The Rangers, to be very honest, worked the first period and have not worked near as hard since.
17:34 to go. Third period. Rangers are down by 1. From Carlisle and Yarvenpaugh at 1:47, a power play goal to give the Jets a 3-2 lead. Word from downstairs is that Ryan Mullen has a deep bruise on his right forearm, result of a slash by Bob Brook. He is still on the bench, but that's probably the reason he has not seen much ice time since early in the second period.
The Jets are a 3-line hockey club, so they just go to the Yarvenpaugh there. The Rangers have had just 1 shot on goal in playing time. And that's what I mean by Winnipeg playing a real disciplined style of game.
Smale wins the draw. Marois poking it ahead. The Rangers trying to get out. Overskate the puck. Smale after it. Slowed down by Jackson. Neufeld has it. Centers. It's off the skate. And Rangers will get out. Paul Fenton. Lead for Ridley. Ridley comes in. Kite is back. Ridley for Miller. The shot by Fenton goes wide. Fenton behind the net. Tied up by Boschman. Fenton looking for the puck. Boschman works it free. And now Jim Kite gets to the puck.
Miller made a great play to stay onside, and then he half-fanned on the puck when he went to redirect it towards the net stand.
Smale's pass went off the skate of Samuelson. Smale all over Samuelson. Samuelson double team by Boschman. Smale has the puck, centers, but it comes back to Carlisle, puts it in the corner. Samuelson gets to the puck and sends it out.
Boschman was in the goal crease. He likes to knock over and agitate goaltenders. He took a penalty against the Islanders last night as he came in and tripped Kelly Rudy from behind. A real cheap shot, actually. I hate to see that when goaltenders get knocked down from behind when they're in their goal crease.
That puck sent in from the Rangers side of the red line. It's icing. 16:27 to go in this third period. And the Jets dominating play here after the Rangers had a good first period. The Jets now leading 3-2. Don Maloney back. They're serving the roughing penalties, the double minor for roughing. They got mixed up with Tom Martin of the Winnipeg Jets. You know, you mentioned that they put Yarvenpaugh in to replace Mullen on that line, and Yarvenpaugh has been great. I think he's really kind of lifted the play of that entire line.
Well,
come to life.
The whole hockey club has played well. The Rangers I think should be more physical against the Winnipeg Jets. Winnipeg have taken the fewest penalty minutes of anybody in the league. The Rangers are the fourth most. And when they grind it out, they seem to be a better team emotionally. Winnipeg have had a free rein here. They've clutched and grabbed and skated when they've had to, and they haven't been pushed around at all.
Off the face-off, Patrick has the puck. Rangers have Kissio, LaRouche, and Erickson on. Lead for Kissio is deflected. Just put it back in the Rangers zone. Van Beesbrook to LaRouche. Off the boards. Picked up by Ron Wilson. Waits for his man to get onside and takes it in. Around the boards. Martin goes for it. It's knocked away from him. See Winnipeg doing here, dumping the puck in very deep every time they get a chance, Sam. They're not fooling around with it at all. It's deep, 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 and making Van Beesbrook and the defenseman work is deep in their own zone. See there again. They're attempted, but he hit Huber, but they're trying to put it in deep. Excellent forechecking by the Jets, and the Rangers unable to get anything going. Now Kissio comes across the line. Nice move. Kissio tripped up. Penalty called. Marois going to go. And the Rangers will have a chance. They'll go on the power play as Marois goes for tripping. Jets are leading 3-2. Rangers have a power play coming up. Power play. And they are 1 for 4. Power play goal by Raimo Helminen in the first period.
And that's the second tripping penalty of tonight's action for Mario Marois.
Eldon Pokey Reddick, the rookie from Nova Scotia.
Say he looks just like Michael Jackson. Almost a look-alike. He did there. He looks like him a little bit. Not Mike Ridley, Pokey Reddick.
I haven't seen Michael Jackson in a hockey helmet yet. We'll see.
In a goaltender. But I saw one video he did. He was wearing something up there. The ringlets were sticking out.
Ridley, Miller, LaRouche, Kissio, and Samuelson on for the Rangers. Kissio playing the left point. Ridley wins. Kissio to Samuelson. Samuelson checked by Ron Wilson. Kissio looks and shoots. Save Reddick. The rebound is carried behind the net by Ridley. Ridley fires it across. Samuelson knocks it down. It's poked out by Ron Wilson. They got pulled down by Samuelson and got away with one there. Grabbed him by the arm. LaRouche fires. It deflects off Miller. Reddick out to stop the puck. 30 seconds gone by in the power play. Tim Waters plays it. And out comes Smale. Knocked away, swept away by Samuelson. Miller comes back. Drops it in the corner, then got pulled down hard by Carlisle. Waters trying to drive it out. It's Garham's out. Patrick overskates. Here comes Doug Smale. Patrick gets back on him. Smale taken down. In come the Rangers. Osborne comes in. Saved by Reddick. The rebound, Sandstrom. Helminen shoots wide. And it comes all the way out. Big chance for the Rangers as they broke in 2-on-1. And Osborne was stopped. Osborne again with 50 seconds to go on the power play. Kite whacks at Helminen. Helminen taken down by Kite. Puck worked up the boards by McBain. Rangers try to keep it in. Patrick is tied up, and out come the Winnipeg Jets. Gilles Hamel drives one off the chest of Van Beesbrook.
Then when that last chance for the Rangers, Smale got a little bit too fancy.
Whoop, deal by Hamel. The shot is off the blocker. McBain banging with Laidlaw. Good pressure here by McBain and Hamel. 20 seconds to go on the power play. Osborne with a lead that's broken up by Kite.
Here's where the Rangers are having some problems coming out of their own zone. Winnipeg making a change here, so Laidlaw shouldn't have any trouble. But Smale got a little bit too fancy, tried to do too much, and Sandstrom took the puck away from him, moved it to Osborne, and Reddick with a huge save.
Garvinpaugh plays it around the boards. Power play is over. Marois back. Teams are at full strength. 13:30 to go. Third period. Winnipeg Jets 3 and the Rangers 2. Laidlaw. Maloney tied up and lost it to Howardchuk. Battle along the boards. 4 Rangers there. Maloney trying to work it free. Knocked away by Carlisle. Now Marois. Laidlaw breaks it up, puts it in the Winnipeg zone. Laidlaw goes for it. Down goes Carlisle. Carlisle tucks it in underneath. Don Koharski waves off the complaints of Tom Laidlaw as Carlisle grabbed the puck, tucked it underneath, and got the whistle to stop play with 12:59 to go, third period. The Rangers are now 1 for 5 on the power play. Jets leading 3-2. Bruce moving, setting up top of the circle. Kissio set to take the draw. Won by Boschman. His own zone as he wins so many of them.
Samuel take him on both sides. They're all left-handed centermen for the Winnipeg Jets. Boschman takes him on both sides of the goaltender.
Erickson trying to beat Kite. Kite won't let him do it. Erickson pushes it to Kissio. Kissio for LaRouche, but Marois blocked him. Kissio centers off a skate. McBain drives it down as the Jets will take an icing. No, they won't. The puck deflected over the boards in the penalty box, but it'll be put back in the Winnipeg zone for faceoff.
Winnipeg is a different team in their own zone away from the puck. They're checking, playing a man-on-man situation as Kissio and his teammates try to move the puck to somebody open. There's nobody open. It's a real good checking job by Winnipeg. You have to remember that one of the 2 Ranger goals was scored from the Ranger side of center ice. So they've been, they only had the 1 goal where they actually completed a play in the other team's zone. What a year that was when they had 96 points. They were just a team that was a skating team. But I think they just got lazy more than anything else. And Barry Long took the brunt of the laziness. Dan Maloney stepped in this year and has them in good shape. And their penalty killing especially has improved. And it's done a big job for them in this game.
Ferguson's right about a couple of key injuries. Thomas Dean is a player that they missed a lot. Good player.
And Dill, good player. He's out with a knee.
Physical player.
Right.
Patrick has the puck. 12:25 to go, third period. 3-2 Winnipeg. Here's Miller for a shot. Stopped by Reddick.
No rebound, Sam. See that? There was a shot right into the pads. A lot of goaltenders, that puck would hit the pads and go right back out, almost like hitting a sponge and popping backwards the other direction.
So what's he doing?
He's just cushioning it. He's out of position. He's standing still, and he cushions his shot and covers it with his goal stick. Look at, he wants to control it. He wants to pass it. Finally, he covered it up. He didn't want that face-off deep. And of course, Boschman comes back out for another draw. He's a good-looking goaltender. He played in Fort Wayne in the International League the last 2 seasons. When he played junior, he played for 3 different teams in Western Canada, and he was shell-shocked. He had 30, 40, 50, 60-shot nights. He wished he had $1, he said, for every shot that he had in junior hockey. He said he wouldn't have to play pro. He'd have a lot of cabbage in the bank.
Ridley wins this time. Back to Patrick. Rick shot wide in the net. Smale goes for the puck and taps it out of the zone. Miller recovers. Wait for his teammates to get outside. Tim Waters, one-time Canadian Olympian, fires it down the ice. Van Beesbrook plays it to the boards to Kelly Miller. Out in center. Gets them right back in. Up in the air. Patrick checked by Neufeld. Up the boards to Paul Fenton. Off the stick of Ridley, and Boschman will play it back to the Ranger zone. Guy Huber. Lead for Fenton off his skates. And Waters sends it back out. Law to Miller. Miller across the line with Ridley. Ridley heads for the net. Miller is tied up. In comes Melnick. Melnick shoots. Saved by Reddick. He's got it.
Laidlaw tried to join the play there, and then he was looking for some sort of a rebound. It didn't come again as Reddick covered it up. The defenseman Tom Laidlaw trying to join the play. Let's watch here as Miller tries to establish position in front, and also Fenton, who's a natural goal scorer. But Pokey Reddick again played the puck very well and held on.
Not making mistakes. Have you heard the Dave Sims show? Have you seen it on Madison Square Garden Network? You can see it regularly, simulcast live every weeknight after New York Knicks home games. That's Sports Night following weeknight New York Knicks telecast right here on Madison Square Garden Network.
Look at that. Boschman's good, isn't he? He's winning to the right of his goaltender. He's winning face-offs to the left of his goaltender.
When he loses, it's a surprise.
But he does smart things when he loses face-offs, too. He'll stay with his centerman. He's a strong, agitating player. He's sort of a Jekyll Hyde. He's a real straight guy off the ice. He does a lot of work with Christian athletes, and then on the ice, he changes. I'll tell you, the costume changes color. He's a mean dude out there.
11:19 left in the third period. Jets leading 3-2. Lively discussion between Tom Laidlaw and Patrick Uzo. Don Maloney was still in the zone, and the Rangers were called for offside that brought that last whistle. Laidlaw made the question. Maloney was on at the way out. Marwa. Stopped by Laidlaw. Off the skate of Brook. Maloney tried to get it through to Deblois. Yarvenpah able to clear the zone. 11 minutes to go in the third period. Jets have scored the only goal in this third period. And here's a 2-on-1. Howard-Chuck and Yarvenpah. Howard-Chuck gets slid off his stick as he tried to go for the pass again.
Well, Howard-Chuck likes to go to that dot to the left of the goaltender and then cut right into the slot area. He can turn left almost like it's turning on a dime, Sam, and he tried it there and just lost control. It was a 2-on-1. They didn't get a shot on goal as Laidlaw tried to pinch on the play.
Here's Yarvenpah right in the middle of things. Erickson and Jackson there. Now Ron Wilson toward the net. It's steered aside by Van Beesbrook. Tim Waters comes down. Wrist shot. Kicked out. Rebound. Score. And the Jets. Rookie Hanu Yarvenpah scores to make it 4-2. The Jets have scored 4 unanswered goals. His first NHL goal. Hanu Yarvenpah.
They forced the play, Sam, and it's just a rebound on a little wrist shot, and Yarvenpah was not covered, and he took advantage of that puck laying there and put it home, and that gives the Jets a 2-goal lead. Just a wrist shot. That's all it took. The shot was on goal, and everybody's in proper position. You see Wilson there, you see Yarvenpah there, and the puck sent home by the Finnish rookie, his first goal in the National Hockey League.
And is he happy? 10:25 to go in the third period. And the Jets, who were trailing 2-0 at the end of the first, now lead 4-2. It's interesting, when John Ferguson was leaving our booth following the interview between periods 1 and 2, he said, boy, that first period was the worst period of hockey we've played all season.
They were bad. And the Rangers were good. I mean, it's a combination of things. And the Rangers are just, it's like a different team the last 2 periods. They just had a good shift before Winnipeg came down and scored. And Ted Sater, his team is not playing a consistent brand of hockey. They're playing well for periods at a time, and that's it. No 60-minute games from this hockey club. Yarvenpah, had 17 points in preseason this year, and then he started the season, didn't play well, had a Charlie horse problem. He's coming off of that, a bruise in his thigh. And Winnipeg was solid goaltending from goaltender played well.
I don't want to jinx Brian Mullen, but I think the turning point of this game came when Yarvenpah was moved together with Howard-Chuck and McLean.
Well, he certainly played well. There's no question there. I think the turning point was in the Rangers. They didn't work near as hard as they did in the first period. That's my opinion.
Here's Patrick sending it down. Midway point of the third period. 10 minutes to go. 4-2. Winnipeg Jets lead the Rangers. Patrick. Rouge comes back out of the zone to get the puck and sends it into the Winnipeg zone.
If Winnipeg can get away, Sam, with playing a disciplined game like this, which is good because when they get chances, they'll score. They'll score on their power play. They have some good natural scorers on that team. They can play disciplined, take face-offs in their own zone because Boschman's going to win them. If Boschman wins the 85, well, I said before 82, whatever it is, % of face-offs, they can afford to just slow the play down in their own zone.
And the defensemen have been very steady back there. Kite, Waters, not running around. I remember last year watching them, they were running around all over the place.
I mean, the Rangers, I'm getting nasty here with the Rangers, but geez, you got to go in and take the body and force them into making mistakes. You saw Yarvenpah go into Don Jackson after Jackson missed the puck, but that made a difference. You've got to grind it out. The Rangers, who could play physical, we saw them play physical in Chicago. We saw them play physical against Pittsburgh. They're not doing it here.
Hand pass was whistled. 9:03 to go. You're watching Rangers hockey on MSG Network. We bring the Garden home.
This young man is about to repair his own car. As you watch, he's actually fixing one of the biggest problems facing today's engines, clogged fuel injectors. He's fixing it with Mobile Super Unleaded Gasoline. Its advanced detergent formula can unclog fuel injectors and give your car a new injection of power. Drive your engine clean with Mobile Super Unleaded. High octane with a plus.
Buffalo Sabres coming alive, looking for their second straight win. 7-1. Gillies has 2. Paymont has 2. Quebec ahead of Hartford 3-2. Peter Stastny has scored in the third period. St. Louis, 7 different goal scorers, beat Chicago 7-3. And LA and Edmonton in a wild one, 5-5. Sumanen has 2 goals for Edmonton. Taylor has 2, and Robitaille has 2 for LA.
Nice to see young Lemieux score at home for St. Louis. His parents came in from Quebec, the province of Quebec. I believe they're from Montreal. And that's the first time they'd seen their son play a National Hockey League game, and he scored. Jocelyn Lemieux.
Oh, here's a breakaway for Howard Chuck, but he was offside. Two-line
pass. Post. Howard Chuck's a good athlete, too, Sam. He's a very, very good golfer. He's like about a 4 handicap, but he didn't take up the game until too many years ago. Natural athlete. One of the 13 players in the league last year to score at least 100 points. And he just seems to thrive on playing. The more ice time he gets, the better he plays. The later the season goes, the better he plays. And I talked earlier about his durability. He's missed 1 game in his 6 seasons, regular season. He got nailed by Jamie McCowan 2 years ago and broke some ribs, so he couldn't play in the playoffs against Calgary.
Howard Chuck wins from Ridley with 8:55 to go in the third period. Winnipeg 4 and the Rangers 2. Kelly Miller gets taken back. Boy, the Rangers need a spark here. That puck deflects under the Winnipeg bench. Stopping play. Roosh is one guy who they could look to provide it. He's had 5 goals in his first 10 games this season. But right now, you wonder who needs some life. They need a power forward with a puck dumped in to go in and forecheck grind it out. You see that. You look around the league and you wonder who does that. I think the Sutter brothers in the family do it maybe the best. Wayne Sutter will seize the minute, or the moment, excuse me. So will the brothers Brian or Daryl. They need somebody, a nasty forward, and it's so easy to spark this building too. Madison Square Garden, if you go in and grind and lay a big body check on somebody, the whole building lifts and the team could lift. Tom Martin, number 21, fanned on the pass and sends it out. Fired across, the Jets break it up again. Melnick chops it out of the zone. Tim Waters stops it in center. Andrew McBain. Rangers pick up the puck. Kissio comes down. Cross against Carlisle. Takes him down. Penalty call. That shot goes wide. Rangers will have a power play opportunity. Carlisle will go for taking down Kelly Kissio with 8:08 to go in the third period. Rangers trailing 4-2 have a power play coming up. The time, and the Rangers go on their 6th power play.
That's the second time Kelly Kissio has drawn a penalty in this third period. He went around Mario Marois, who earlier took a tripping call with Kissio trying to drive for the net. Kissio now on the point on the power play. The Rangers need one here, Sam, real bad.
This is the chance if they're going to get back into it. Helminen, Osborne, Sandstrom, Kissio, and Samuelson on for the power play. Samuelson gets the pass. The wrist shot is stopped by Reddick. Sees it all the way, gloves it, and holds it.
Samuelson had to use a wrist shot there, but he got it up a bit high. And Reddick, who has good hands, was able to just simply catch it and then control it. Again, he's not afraid to hang on to it in his own zone because he knows Laurie Boschman's there to probably win a faceoff. Here you'll see Samuelson. He's about to get forced by Wilson, so he simply wrists it, but it's up around the knees, around the waist area. Any goaltender will tell you that that's the place where you like to have the puck shot the most because your hands are already there. You don't have to move them too far to make the save.
Boschman wins the draw. Stolen by Sandstrom in the corner. Helminen has the puck now. Helminen looks, fakes, goes to Samuelson, back to Helminen. Kissio is snuck in. The deflection goes wide. Shot deflected by a Winnipeg player off the shot by Helminen. Osborne able to keep the puck in along the boards. Now Kissio works it ahead to Sandstrom. Centers off the stick of Helminen. Hard pass. Samuelson to Osborne. He's tied up there in the corner with Marois. Helminen. Ron Wilson digging for the puck. Knocks it to Marois around the boards. Kissio stops it. 1:10 to go in the Rangers power play. Kissio ridden down by Boschman. Kissio and Boschman shoving each other. Kite has got his man tied up in the corner. Kissio along the boards. Checked by Boschman. Kissio still with the puck. Gets it to Sandstrom. Back to Kissio. Centered off the stick of Samuelson coming down from the point. Helminen knocked down by Marois. The puck cleared by Wilson all the way down. 45 seconds to go in the Rangers power play.
Good effort by both teams there. Winnipeg kept the Rangers to the outside. Actually, Boschman had won the faceoff, but Sandstrom beat Marois to the puck, and the Rangers kept the puck in the zone there for 45 seconds, but couldn't get a good shot.
Ridley's lead is for Paul Fenton. Fenton along the boards. Tied up by Tim Waters. Ridley has the puck. Looking. Ridley still holding. Rangers 4 men in deep. Back pass to Patrick. Patrick shot deflected. Loose in front. Huber goes down. Benton goes down. McBain plays it up the board for Smale. Kept in. Huber finds the puck. Blocked in front by Brad Berry. Berry chops at it out of the zone. Smale races for it. Back with him is Patrick. 5 seconds to go on the Rangers man advantage. Smale checked from behind by Huber. And Carlisle is back right now. Teams are at full strength. And the Rangers are 1 for 6 on the power play. Shot by LaRouche is knocked down. Marois has the puck. Tapped out of the zone. Picked up by Laidlaw. 5:50 to go. Third period. 4-2. Winnipeg Jets lead the Rangers. In front, Maloney. Stopped by Reddick. John Erickson has the puck. Centered across. Brook couldn't control it. Brook checked there by Marois. Battle. Yarvenpah tied up by Maloney. Checked by Kite. Comes to Brook. Taken away by Yarvenpah. Gives it away to Jan Erickson. Melnick stops the puck. Melnick toward the net. Knocked down by Reddick. Good save through a screen. Penalty call. Maloney pulled down in front by Big Jim Kite. Holding is the call. 5:20 to go, third period. One more power play chance for the Rangers. You're watching Rangers hockey on MSG Network. We bring the Garden home.
Was finally had to take down Don Maloney. Look at that helmet of his. He wears hearing aids in both ears, Sam. Jim Kite has a hearing impairment. He does a lot of work with children that have that problem all over Canada and the United States. He works a lot with Stan Mikita. Stan Mikita used to play in Chicago, also involved with hockey leagues for youngsters with that problem. Anyway, New York again on the power play. They worked hard on the last one, just couldn't get a good quality shot on Pokey Reddick.
Kite for holding at 14:40. Rangers have failed on their last 4. They're 1 for 6 for the game. Ridley, LaRouche, Miller, Patrick, and Huber on for the Rangers. Carlisle around the boards. Pitching in was Patrick to stop it. Patrick taking the puck away, battling with Waters. Patrick with Waters on him. Miller has the puck now. Carlisle checking him. Miller's trying to work his way in front. Loose puck in the crease. Reddick's got it covered.
Let's watch this time when Boschman takes the face-off. That last time, what you're supposed to do, Sam, is keep the blade of your stick within the white part of the face-off dot. He cheated and moved it up, and then he lifted the blade of the stick off the ice. Here you see hard work right there by the Rangers. They try to jam the puck in. Ridley and Kelly Miller. Kelly Miller never stops working, but they can't buy one there. Now watch Boschman. Watch the blade of his stick on this face-off and see if he keeps the blade in that white part of the dot where he's supposed to. There's 2 white parts of the dot, and each team is supposed to keep their stick in there, each centerman, and not move them. He cheats, moves it, and wins face-off.
As long as they allow
down
it.
There, and it's in the white part now. But just before the linesman drops it, he'll lift his blade off and move up and try to draw the puck back to his left in the corner. Oh, I guess we won't see it. They both got thrown out. Wilson is going to take the face-off now. He is a centerman. It was Boschman that got thrown out, not Ridley. Wilson is a centerman too, along with Boschman. Pat DiCuzzo must have saw that last time with Boschman.
Either that or he's got you tuned in. Wrong. All the way down. Up the boards for Patrick. Rangers power play. And almost a must here. The Rangers down by 2. Carlisle drives it around the boards. Huber stops it. Ridley picks it up on the bounce. Huber drives it ahead. And the Jets will clear. Huber goes back for it. 1 minute gone by and the penalty to Jim Kite. 4:20 to go. Third period. Jets 4 and the Rangers 2. Tissio works his way toward the Jets line. Stopped by Wilson. Good play by Ron Wilson.
Good penalty killing. Winnipeg Jets in the last 2 periods has just been super penalty killing, Sam.
Even the game is one of the tops in the league, and they're playing that way. Rangers unable to get anything going right now. Stopped at the line by Marois. 30 seconds to go on the power play. Jets came into the league 4th in penalty killing, having allowed 7 power play goals and 42 chances short. Lead is for Sandstrom. Off his stick. Gets to it, hits the side of the net. Reddick right there. But Reddick playing a calm game, really under control in net. And here's a break. This is Gilles Hamel breaking down one-on-one. He shoots, save made by Van Beesbroek. On a short-handed effort. Kite is back right now. Teams are at full strength. 3:15 to go in the third period. Jets leading 4-2 and in control.
We talked about Pokey Reddick earlier in the game, Sam. We said that he's a calm, cool goaltender, yet he still has a real confidence about him, and he's a real competitor, and you've seen all that exhibited in this hockey game. He's very much in control.
Rangers have to press for a goal here. Just under 3 minutes to go in the third period. Melnick shoots, and it hits a post. Bounces way up into the air. Comes down to Maloney. Try to beat Deblois with blocked. Knocked down by McLean. Still loose. Kicked in front. Shot by Brooks. He scores! And it's 4-3 with 2:41 to go. Bob Brooks with his second goal of the season. Don Maloney made a tremendous play, playing that puck on a bounce as it came from way up in the air.
Sam, what they won was forechecking and hard work did it here. Remember, Van Beesbroek stopped the breakaway on Hamel. The Rangers came back to the other end of the ice, and Maloney, you're right, used strength and balance, kicked the puck over to Bobby Brooks as the defensemen were deep towards the goaltender, and in one motion, he put it home for the Rangers, a 4-3 hockey game in favor of Winnipeg. Van Beesbroek with a key save on that short-handed breakaway by Joe Hamel.
So it's a 4-3 game. 2:41 to go in the third period. Rangers out shooting the Jets 33-22. The Jets leading at 4-3.
Brook was the leading scorer for the Rangers against Winnipeg last season with 5 points in the series. 3 games.
Rangers are complaining about something here. The Jets want to call a timeout.
I don't think you can. Well, I'm not sure. I'm not sure if you can call it. Well, the face-off. I'm not sure. I was going to say that you can't call it after a goal, but Koharski motion. Yeah, keep the play going. Yeah, I would think you could too. The Koharski motion. Let's keep the play going.
I'm not Patrick. Shot blocked at the line. Actually, the pass was blocked at the line. Here's a chance for a break by Ron Wilson. Patrick trying to get back. Wilson, the backhander, stopped by Van Beesbroek. Van Beesbroek is knocked down. As he went for the puck, he was out of the crease.
Well, they've got to be careful here. Emotions, you have to keep them properly masked.
And Martin, the fourth play, physical, and Huber sat on top of him.
I looked at Koharski right away. He did not have his arm up to indicate a penalty. So Van Beesbroek, who was knocked down from behind, has to try and keep his emotions masked. Otherwise, he takes the penalty. Maloney and Deblois got the assist on Bob Brooks' second goal, 17-19. The save is made, but watch Van Beesbroek go after the little loose puck here. And there's Martin coming right through the goal crease and flattening Van Beesbroek from behind. And Huber and Van Beesbroek give Martin a shot. And nothing called at all by Koharski.
Rangers may have exacted their measure of retaliation a little bit anyway. I think Huber just kind of nudging Martin a little bit. And it's a dangerous time. As you said, you don't want to take a penalty here. Early in the game, that's one thing. But when you're going for that tying goal, face-off is outside the zone. 21 to go.
Rangers have been forechecking, Sam, the last 5, 6, 7 minutes. Of course, 2 of those minutes, or 4 of those minutes were when the team was on the power play. And remember, Winnipeg go with 3 lines. This is 2 nights in a row. We'll see if they tire a little bit.
But they've been spotting the other players. That's
they spot them once in a while, but still.
Wilson is in there to kill penalties. He's been on the ice for 7 times. Yavinpaw's gotten a lot of play. Rangers able to get out. Lead for Osborne. Waters is back. Wrist shot and stopped by Reddick. He's got it. He just stood there calmly.
He had a little trouble with that shot at first. But what he did was he controlled it. And again, most goaltenders around the league would say, I better get rid of this so we don't have a face-off. 1:51 remaining in the third. I don't want it in this zone. Osborne just a long wrist shot. Now watch the goaltender, Sam. He doesn't catch this cleanly. It sort of stuck in his arm and rolled down into his glove. But it sounds redundant, but they have Boschman against the face-offs in their own zone.
You're a fan of the World Wrestling Federation. You don't want to miss 3 one-hour highlight sports shows right here on Madison Square Garden Network. Wrestling Challenge, Superstars of Wrestling, and Wrestling Spotlight. Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday nights at 11 o'clock right here on Madison Square Garden Network.
Roddy Piper. I'm a fan of his. And so is the former Ranger.
Now, I heard when you were down in Atlantic City at the cable convention, Big John Studd stole the show. That's what they told me. Everybody wanted
Big is right.
Big John Studd.
I got Joe Frazier's autograph. I was happy.
Timeout was called by the Winnipeg Jets. They talked things over with 1:51 to go. Of course, the Rangers have to be thinking about pulling goaltender John Van Beesbrook for the extra skater.
1:51, Sam. Still lots of time left before Beesbrook is pulled, but he did go over there and at least get instructions because there might not be a face-off for the next 50 seconds or so, which would put it around 1 minute. Who knows? Now remember, well, let's just see what happens here. It's not so much the fact that Boschman's going to win the face-off. It's what the Rangers do if he does. Osborne's got to beat Marois to the corner to get the puck if it's drawn back. If.
Helmanen and Boschman.
Helmanen looks like he wants to go ahead with it. Look at Boschman. His stick's already off the ice. Look at that.
Boschman wins it into the corner. And around the boards by Marois. Kept in by Huber. Past Marois. Rolls into the corner. Sandstrom trying to get free of a hook check by Andrew McBain. Sandstrom has the puck. Checked by Kite. Center. Saved by Reddick. Rebound. Score! Osborne with his 8th of the season. It's a 4-4 game.
Okay, Sam, let's go back. A couple of things. Osborne shot the puck in, and Pokey Reddick kept it in his own zone for a face-off. Let's watch the goal as the Rangers converge to get a rebound finally. Osborne gets in front. There's going to be a rebound, and it's put home through the legs, through the inside of the right leg of Pokey Reddick. The Rangers with a big comeback here. Again, the Winnipeg Jets did have a chance to get it out of the zone. Everybody gets in the right position. And there we see the rebound shot by Osborne. He had a lot on that shot. And it got through the legs of Reddick. Now remember, the face-off was won by Boschman, but Willie Huber went immediately to the far side and kept the puck in that Winnipeg zone. That set up the goal.
Rangers pressing. Loose puck behind the net, played by Maloney. Battle going on in front. Worked down to the corner. Minute 18 to go in regulation time now as Howardchuk tries to beat Patrick. Can't do it. Debelois has the puck. A minute 10 to go as Debelois comes in. Drops it in front. It's deflected off the back of Patrick. Down goes McLean. Down goes another man. Shaken up. Debelois has the puck. Gets it to Maloney. The whistle stops play. Tim Waters down.
Waters got nailed into the boards. He was a few feet away from the boards. Don Maloney with a heavy check. Debelois has played this shift like a man possessed. He clubbed Howardchuk over the back with the hockey stick a few moments ago. This is what I was talking about all throughout the first half of the third period.
Where was it? Where was it?
I don't know, but it's there now.
McLean trying to get it Maloney.
The veterans come off the bench. Don Maloney, Debelois on this shift, and they're really doing it. Physical play,
getting back to the goal. Now Maloney and Waters, they want to go. And only one line to stop it.
You see Koharski blowing his whistle and telling everybody to get back. That's the new rule this year. If they don't, they're fined. But this is the emotions the New York Rangers have to play with, Sam. It's mean, nasty hockey, but you have to play that way. The game's a tough game.
Well, Waters got up and he wanted to go with somebody. Finally went for Maloney.
Well, Maloney's the one that I think hit him into the boards. As Waters had his back to the ice, he was facing the boards. He was 3 or 4 feet away, and Maloney finished the check. You know, it's a long ways away, but the Rangers happen to win this game, whether it be overtime or whatever. This last 4 or 5 minutes could mean a lot to this hockey club in the next 6 or 7 games.
It's been an important comeback. Maloney and Waters go off. Now here's what happened. There's Howardchuk going down.
That's right, and there's Maloney nailing Waters. As the puck was laying there, Waters went in heavily, and he didn't move. Right shoulder, head first.
That's a headache. You bet. 1 minute exactly left in regulation time. The Rangers, who led 2-0 at the end of the first period, fell behind 4-2 here in the third, have rallied for 2 goals in 1 minute and 6 seconds. Bob Brook at 17-19 from Maloney and Debeloff, and Osborne with his 8th from Sandstrom, who made an outstanding play. He was being hooked by McBain. He fought off that check, got to the puck, got it across to Osborne. 18:25, the time of the tying goal. Even before the puck went in the net, remember, Boston won the faceoff. It got back to Marois. All Marois ever does is take the puck and slap it around the boards. Huber read the play, got over against the boards on the other side of the ice, kept the puck in, and then they were able to penetrate and score the goal. Waters and Maloney, 2 minutes each for roughing and 10-minute misconduct. They are gone for the rest of the game. Faceoff is outside because the Rangers defenseman went in and joined the mix-up of players during that, well, tried to be a fight between Waters and Maloney. 4-4 the score with 1 minute left in regulation time. Oh boy, Howard Chuck skated over and had a few words with Sandstrom. I like that. The emotions are at the top level here right now. Still 1 minute remaining in the third period, and it's getting nasty. I like that. Really getting into this one now. And the Rangers, who have played the most overtime games in the National Hockey League this season, are 45 seconds away from playing another one. Howard Chuck is really perturbed at something. He's bumping, grinding. He's right into this game now. I'm not saying I like fights, but I like it when it's played at a high level and lots of banging and body work. It's like watching the Chicago Bears, I guess, play football, the New York Giants. They play tough. You like it. 27 seconds left in regulation time. I'm not saying that the Jets don't play tough. I got to get that in there. They both play well. I don't want to forget that. Absolutely not. Jets played another outstanding game to go 8-1. Giants beating Dallas. How about O'Brien throwing the ball? My goodness. Giants with Martin at the end of the game coming up with some big plays. Unbelievable. Aside from the referees dropping flags, it was nervous. It wasn't easy, but the Giants did it. And they're 7-2, and now tied with Washington for first place in the NFC East. Washington, a big comeback win over Minnesota right here. 27 seconds to go. Regulation time. Both defensive lines on the ice right now. Each team with a defensive line with just 20 seconds remaining in the third. Riddick plays the weird carom. Carlisle has the puck. There you see the clock. Ray Neufeld comes down. Long drive. Gloved by Van Beesbrook. Plays the boards to the near side. Jan Eriksson waits. Gets it out of the zone. And here comes another overtime. No one said this would be an easy season for anyone. And here comes overtime. The New York Rangers will be going into their 8th overtime game. The 5th in a row at home. Is that right? Yeah. They'd like to see us work, don't they? 4-4 is the score at the end of regulation time. We'll be right back. Had an assist on that play, and he's the one that kept it in. Actually, though, Helmanen should have gotten it because he touched the puck in the corner. Right, I agree. But that was just a good execution by the club that lost the faceoff. Right. Osborne stayed on Mario Marois. Saw the overtime records. Again, the Rangers 5th in a row on home ice. Wow. Incredible. They're used to it. What can you say? Jets' second overtime game of the season. They played a 4-4 tie in Hartford. And the Rangers 1-2-4. Osborne had the winner against Los Angeles. 11th game of the season for the Rangers. Their 8th overtime game. A lot of extra work. Here we go. Huber almost gave it away to McLean. Brook pushes it ahead. Eriksson trying to clear the zone. It was kept in by Marois. Patrick plays the puck. Eriksson again hit by Marois, but this time it's out of the zone. Eriksson takes it away. And into the Winnipeg zone. Yarvenpah lost his stick. Out in center, Laidlaw finds the puck and across to Melnick. Driven into the Winnipeg zone. Around the boards. Laidlaw comes down. Takes it away from Marois. Laid low with a feed for Kelly Miller. He's tied up. It's poked away. And the Jets able to clear the zone. Melnick lifts it back in. Carlisle plays the puck. A minute gone by in overtime. Good check by Miller on Carlisle. Centers for Ridley. Save. It was blocked in front by the defenseman.
Mario Marois with a great play.
3-on-2 coming down. Jets across the line. Martin is checked by Melnick. McLean centers for Howardchuk. Howardchuk puts it in front. Comes all the way through. As Laidlaw battles in front with Tom Martin. And the Rangers pick up the puck. Melnick has it. Out in center, picked up by Ridley. Broken up by Carlisle, and Sandstrom gets it back for the Rangers. 3:25 to go in overtime. Sandstrom again. Nice move to control the puck. Put it through the legs of Carlisle, got knocked down for it. Martin gets hit by Samuelson. Beesbrook. Helmanen drives it around the boards, but it's stopped there by McBain. On goal, it's stopped by Van Beesbrook for Helmanen. Helmanen plays the boards and out of the zone. Huber, Helmanen, Brook, and Osborne have scored for the Rangers. Carlisle, McLean twice, and Yarvenpah for the Winnipeg Jets. 2:55 to go in overtime. Ron Wilson with the puck. Patrick is there. Smale had left the blue line. He was offside with 2:49 to go. Shots on goal for the game. Rangers 35 and the Jets 25. In the third period, Rangers out shooting the Winnipeg Jets 14-9.
National Hockey League record for Doug Smale. We were just looking at him. The fastest goal at the start of a hockey game, 5 seconds.
That's quick. Woo. Boschman on for Winnipeg with Neufeld and Smale. Rangers send out Brook, Erickson, and Deblois. Rangers had the one good chance when Ridley was there in front, but Marois blocked the shot.
It was almost like a 2-on-1. There were 2 Rangers there and only Marois, and he took a chance, but he got the job done. He made a good play.
Bruce was down on the other side. Once again, Boschman won the face-off. There's a race for the puck. Erickson trying to get to it, broken up by Neufeld. Throws it across. 2.5 minutes to go in overtime. Laidlaw in center for Erickson. Got an open man on the far side. Wound around the boards. Deblois goes after it. Bumped with Bradbury. Now Brook centers. Break past Erickson. Boschman has the puck. Bodies go flying as Smale and Erickson got tied up. This is Boschman coming in against Samuelson. Poke checks it into the corner. Laidlaw tied up with Neufeld. Brook picks up the puck. Whistle stops play. Samuelson in the corner with Boschman.
Boschman, now this won't hurt the Rangers either. Boschman, of course, taking every draw, is now going to be in the penalty box with Samuelson. Samuelson's been one of the better defensive. Brook and Smale. Now, Carlisle and Barry, the defenseman, are right at the top of the circle. If they go in any further, the faceoff will be outside. They've shown good smarts by just stopping right there. They haven't joined the play. You see 5 Rangers there and only 3 Jets, right. Boschman will get a penalty here for sure. 2:05 remaining in overtime.
Things settled down. Rangers' next game is Wednesday night. You can see it right here on Madison Square Garden Network. John and I will be at Joe Louis Arena when the Rangers meet the revived Detroit Red Wings.
The fans of Detroit deserve it too. They keep coming out. They're second place.
Boy, does that look strange looking up
Toronto, Detroit.
Stars division. Toronto first, Detroit second. Wow. But a great job. They played 11 games and allowed only 31 goals. Excellent. And gave up 6 goals in their first game.
That's right up in Quebec, right?
They've done an outstanding job. Jacques Demers is taking over.
3 goaltenders there, Hamlin, Stefan, and Sam Sanaram. They sent Joe Murphy down.
Yeah.
The first round choice this year, the first overall.
Sent Shedden down, brought him back, and he's playing well.
And Norwood, too, the defenseman, they can do that. Sent him down for conditioning purposes. Scare tactic, too, and it worked.
Samuelson and Boschman go to the penalty boxes. 2 minutes each for roughing. At 2:55 of overtime. There is 2:05 remaining in overtime.
Let's give Howard the score. Sorry, Sam. Let's give Howardchuk's line a good chance to get a long rest. They weren't on the ice when that skirmish started, and then during the delay after it, when the penalties were handed out, they're well rested.
Carlisle knocked away by Ridley. Carlisle toward the net, knocked down by Van Beesbrook. McLean in the corner, checked by Ridley, gets free. McLean trying to come out in front, still controls the puck. Drops in the corner past Howard-Chuck. Now Yarvenpah checked by Patrick. Howard-Chuck for the puck, taken in on the boards by Huber. Yarvenpah winds it around for McLean. Trouble here as the Jets put the pressure on. McLean with Ridley on him, comes in front, it hits the post, it goes in! Huber had no stick, and Van Beesbrook put it in his own net. It's over. Winnipeg with a big goal. That line, I said they were fresh, Sam. Bayford checked, worked, got the puck, and scored, and it's over. John Van Beesbrook, the puck was sliding along the goal crease all over the place. He reached back desperately as he came off the goal post, and with the shaft of his goal stick, I'm pretty sure, put it back into his own net by accident. What a seesaw game this was, up and down, and you can see the satisfaction on Dan Maloney as he shakes hands with his assistant Rick Bonas. Here it is again.
But Huber's got no stick. He throws down the Winnipeg Jet player Howard-Chuck. It's 2-on-2 in front. Watch the puck off the goal post. Watch Van Beesbrook's stick. Boom. Put it back into his own net by accident.
He wanted to hug it.
He wanted to control it, right? He tried desperately. He had his stick partially extended. Look at it right now. It's partly extended. Winnipeg with two power forwards right in front of the net doing the job, harassing Van Beesbrook. The puck was put home, and the game's over. McLean
gets a hat trick. An outstanding game. But I'll tell you, the other guy that was causing havoc in front, Yarvenpah.
Right, I agree.
Outstanding game. Winnipeg Jets win it in overtime by the score of... Paul McLean, a big star in the game for the Winnipeg Jets with a hat trick. He's with Bruce Beck right now. Let's go to Bruce.
8 goals in the season, but as you mentioned, Sam, the hat trick tonight, including the game winner in overtime. Paul McLean continues to play well, and your line had not been out there for about 2 minutes before you got your shot in overtime. What were you thinking?
Well, we had started overtime, and we were going short shifts, and there was only under 2 minutes left, so we knew it was going to be our last shift, so we just wanted to go out and try to get the puck in there and then work the puck in deep like we did, and hopefully get a chance to take the puck to the net and then bang away at it, and that's what happened.
All right, let's take a look at the game winner, and we'd like you to lead us through it as we pick up the action.
Well, we're just banging around in it. I was trying to go to the net there, and we're just trying to keep the puck in deep and make sure we didn't throw it back for our points and just try to go to the net. I just went to the net, and then Hannu and I were whacking at it, and you'll see Johnny Van Beesbrook put it in his own net.
That's really your style, always in front of the net. You're the big man, but you have the soft touch.
Well, when you skate like I do, it's pretty tough to do anything else. So I have a certain job to do playing with someone like Dale Howard-Chuck. I don't really have to try to beat anybody on one-on-one. I just try to get the puck out of the corner and go to the net for him and create some open ice for him and let him have the room to use his tools.
Tonight's game was really like an emotional roller coaster, back and forth, 2-0, then 2-2, 4-2. You look like you're sailing along. Rangers come back and you win it in overtime. This one has to take a lot out of you.
Well, it's pretty tough after playing last night in Long Island, and we did the same thing tonight. We had the Islanders 3-2, and we were playing very well, and we just fell asleep. And then tonight we had them 4-2, and we just seemed to give them a couple of goals. And we make it hard on ourselves, but we won tonight, but we can't keep doing that if we expect to win consistently.
Good win for the Winnipeg Jets. Congratulations and good luck to you.
Thank you very much, Bruce.
Paul McLean, one of the most underrated players in the NHL, always working hard, always giving it his best effort. Tonight, he gets the hat trick. Back upstairs to Sam Rosen.
3:23 of overtime. McLean from Howard-Chuck and Yarvenpah, and the Winnipeg Jets defeat the New York Rangers 5-4. We'll be back with more in just a moment. Winnipeg Jets are now 5-5-1, 11 points, and the New York Rangers with a loss now 2-5-4. And again, a roller coaster ride, as Bruce Beck mentioned. The positive aspects of it, the Rangers falling behind in the third period, then coming back. It's a tremendous comeback on their part.
They came back because they got physical. The Rangers came back because they got physical. As soon as they started bumping and grinding, they came back, tied it up, and then Winnipeg did their job. And one of the few face-offs late in that game, including the overtime in the New York zone.
Score was 4-2 when the Rangers mounted their comeback in the last 3 minutes of regulation time, and Bob Brook will get the goal to make it 4-3.
Well, I mentioned physical play. I mentioned hard work. Well, this is going to be the long shot. The goal, I think, by Willie Huber. There it is.
Oh,
that is the original goal of the hockey
game. That's the first goal of the game. Okay.
What a play that was. That puck hit, bounced. I can't believe it.
A short-handed goal.
Now here we see Kissio takes a good look, and this is going to be the second goal of the game on the blade of Raimo Helminen. A good play by Kissio, proving he may be able to play the point on the power play.
Power play, that made it 2-0 for the Rangers at the end of the first period. Rangers had an outstanding first period, outshot the Jets 13-5, dominated play, and as we mentioned earlier, John Ferguson had said afterwards, he said that was the worst period that the Jets had played all season. And then they turned it around the second and third period.
There was 7 goals scored after those two, and Winnipeg scored 5 of them, so you know they did some things right. They just stayed to their game plan, Sam, and they just simply chipped away, played discipline, and then they took advantage of some mistakes by the Rangers in the Rangers' own zone. First by Osborne as he threw the puck. He thought Helminen was open, breaking up the middle. Carlisle reads the play. Osborne threw it blind without seeing Carlisle stepping in between the two, and then Carlisle grabbed it and scored and got Winnipeg back into the hockey game.
Interesting that Brian Mullen got hurt. He got slashed by Bob Brooks, suffered a deep bruise in the right wrist, sat out most of the second period, all of the third period. Because of that injury, Hannu Järvenpää, the rookie winger from Finland, was moved onto the line with McLean and Howardchuk. That really was a big lift. Järvenpää winds up with a goal and 3 assists. McLean with 3 goals and Howardchuk with 2 assists.
You know, Mullins played so well all year long that when it was really good to see for the Winnipeg Jets that somebody could fill in for a person that's been one of their leaders. Järvenpää is a good player coming off an injury, well rested, and he played well. I mean, he is not afraid to go in there and battle for the puck. He appeared to be strong in his skates. He also appeared to be smart. He also appeared to show that the 17 points he scored in preseason weren't a fluke.
No fluke at all. He was involved in the game-winning goal scored by Paul McLean. We'll be back with more in just a moment. We'll have a complete look at the scoreboard. Final score again. Jets defeat the Rangers 5-4. Gumble, so stay tuned for that. The Winnipeg Jets defeat the Rangers 5-4. And we'll take a look around the National Hockey League where Buffalo wins its second in a row. 2 goals by Gillies, 2 by Paymont. Lawless with a goal to tie it to Hartford and Quebec. That's the final 3-3 tie. 7 different goal scorers. St. Louis beating Chicago 7-3 in that one. L.A. and Edmonton are 5-5. They have gone to overtime as Summanen has 2 for Edmonton, 2 for Robitaille, 2 for Taylor for L.A. Skrudland has scored for Montreal. That's 1-0 in the first period. Our next game Wednesday night right here on Madison Square Garden Network at 7:30 from the Joe Louis Arena in Detroit. It'll be the Rangers and the Detroit Red Wings. Once again, the final score here at Madison Square Garden on a goal by Paul McLean, the hat trick. Jets 5, Rangers 4. For John Davidson and Bruce Beck, this is Sam Rosen. Thanks for being with us. Tonight's New York Rangers hockey has been brought to you by your local New York, New Jersey, and Connecticut Ford dealers. By Mobil One Synthetic Motor Oil. Mobil One protects your engine better than any conventional motor oil. By Metropolitan Life and affiliated companies. Get Met, it pays. By Manufacturers Hanover, the financial source worldwide. And by Michelob Light, super premium taste and less filling beer. Who says you can't have it all? This has been a presentation of Madison Square Garden Productions Incorporated through the facilities of Hughes Television Network on Madison Square Garden Network. So long, everyone.
I never realized the world was so full of hazards. That's why there's a company like MetLife, because sometimes things do get out of control. That's why over 43 million people look to Met to be there when things go wrong. That's why you should get Met. It pays.
Hertz announces everything must go race. Weekend race from a rock-bottom 1996 a day. T-Birds twice the fly, just $37.90 weekdays. And low weekly rates, like $79 in Florida. So hurry.
Blood simple, like the song says.